number one pick in the NHL draft, but the men that can't seem to stump. Do something dumb, that's an observation. CLT make them need to run. Cut them every trash, CMT for short. Wonder if we best once you peep the score. Up at the crack of dawn, top stories of the morning. While you're yawning, grab your coffee, rise and shine with 8:80 a.m. This is Drop Time. We provide highlights from your favorite teams. Got Dave and Rick making plenty of picks. It's Rule 76.
I like the vibes today. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Ty Butler, Jake Asman filling in for the guys. DiPietro and Rothenberg. 800-919-3776, taking you up until 10 o'clock this morning. Live on YouTube, by the way. I see my man Jake. We're in the ESPN radio hat. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my man. I think this is, 2 years in a row we've done this?
It's an annual tradition, Ty. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man. We're the only local show on the station today, so someone's got to get the people to 10 a.m. on the great ESPN New York, so let's do it.
So the fact that we've become an annual tradition, does that mean we're like turkey and gravy? Like they just like this combination?
We're like the Lions and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving every year. That's the tradition we're aspiring to be.
I love that. So if we are turkey and gravy, though, which item do you want to be?
Ooh, I'll go with the gravy. Hot take right out of the gate here. I'm not the biggest turkey guy. I think it's an overrated meat. I'm not going to be that guy that just hates on it. But I think if the Pilgrims knew any better, if they can go back in time, they would have chosen steak as the item at the very first Thanksgiving. They were immature. They didn't know. They didn't know any better. So they ended up with turkey.
Do you want to start rating meats on the show this early in the morning?
A little meat talk in the morning? What's better than that at 6:01 a.m.?
And by the way, I don't think that the whole turkey is overrated is a hot take, because the more we evolve, like I feel like the hotter take is that people love turkey. Yeah, I'm just hearing that all over the place. But I will say, though, if we want to go this route, I might have to be the gravy just because, I mean, I'm darker than you, so it might just make more sense. Am I?
I can't tell. Yeah, I'm looking on YouTube right now, and I think people think we look alike.
All right, so we're going to 10 o'clock this morning. Hit us up, 800-919-3776. He's at Jake Asman. He's recovered his Twitter because that was a situation he had to go through. But it didn't take you that long. Knocked you out a couple of days. Some people, by the way, Jake, don't actually get their Twitter back, so you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I was hacked Thursday morning. Not fun. Don't recommend. And I couldn't figure out how I got hacked in the first place. That's what was so crazy. A friend of mine who works in a different media market, he sent me a DM that he was nominated for some sort of broadcasting award, and I thought nothing of it. And I tried to click the link. Then a day goes by, and after this link that I clicked didn't work, and I never thought anything of it, then all of a sudden I'm hacked, can't get into my own account, and it starts tweeting about how I made all this money in crypto, and I bought a new car, bought a new home because I was crypto mining. Well, needless to say, that was not me. So if anyone out there received a direct message from me, don't click it. I don't recommend it. And, yeah, it took a couple days, but glad to have the account back so I could actually tweet and, promote us doing a show together this morning.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize Jake was like such a heavy crypto enthusiast. Like this caught me by surprise. He's got a new car. But he's at Jake Asman. I am at Ty D. Butler. Together we are at DNR on ESPN. As we say, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We hope you keep it locked here for the next 4 hours as we march you up until 10 o'clock. I guess, Jake, it is incumbent upon us, and we'll have some fun today. And observations, did it happen in Florida? We got our guys, Jacob and Matt, hanging back in the studio. I guess we are obligated to start with football. And before we get to the local slate with the Jets and the Giants, who will be playing on Sunday and Monday, respectively, I mean, 3 pretty good games today that I'm excited for. Now, I don't know when this happened, Jake. The NFL just moved back the start time because Packers-Lions all of a sudden is going to start at 1 o'clock today. You'll get Chiefs-Cowboys at 4:30. Then tonight, the return of Joe Burrow, 8:20. Bengals-Ravens. And it sounds crazy, but Cincinnati still with a chance to contend for that division crown at 3-8. Meanwhile, the Ravens, who have won 5 straight games, are looking to fend them off. So a pretty good slate today, Jake. Which is something that over the last couple of years we haven't been able to say.
Yeah, you look at each game, and there's star power and intrigue in each of them. All the games matter for the respective teams. Even the Bengals at 3-8, as you brought up. Burrow playing makes that game certainly a must-watch because there's nothing Cincinnati would love more than to spoil the Ravens' entire night on Thanksgiving evening. So there's something to that. The first game is fascinating because I don't think either Green Bay or Detroit has been the team that we thought they were going to be this year, yet here they are at 7-3-1 in Green Bay's case, and Detroit at 7-4. So they're both right there in the thick of it for that division. And then Chiefs-Cowboys, I mean, there's an argument, Ty. That might be the highest-rated Thanksgiving Day game ever when you talk about the brands that is the Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, and then obviously the Cowboys are the Cowboys on Turkey Day. So I'm intrigued by all three of these games. And then, if you're into watching more football on Black Friday, you got another NFL game. And don't worry, Jet fans, Tim Boyle will not be out there in this one tomorrow. So you got Bears and Eagles tomorrow. So really good couple days of NFL football. So I'm excited about that because if you're a Jet or a Giant fan, I mean, you're certainly not thrilled watching your team these days. So hopefully the games today live up to some of the hype we've been talking about here.
Absolutely. And we'll get to, because I hit you guys with this before the show, I want to play a little survivor pool for the games the next couple of days. Just which team do you feel most confident about winning? Because, like, you look at the slate, and it's gorgeous, right? It's appetizing. And the spread says you should go Baltimore. But the Ravens that I've watched the last couple of weeks, including last week against the Jets, just don't feel like a team to me that I have the utmost confidence in, especially with Joe Burrow returning. And you mentioned Chiefs-Cowboys. It is a beauty for CBS because all of the storylines, but also both the Cowboys and the Chiefs, you could argue, are fighting for their seasons, both coming off of just spectacular comeback wins. The Chiefs in that game against the Colts where they trailed by 10, and then the Cowboys spotting the Eagles 21 points and were able to march back and win that game in regulation. So I'm excited for that. But it means, Jake, there's no real time to sneak a nap in. Like, there's no, like, all right, I can miss this quarter or this half. All the games are great. So I think it's awesome if you're a sports fan like you and I, but in trying to squeeze in some family time, where's that happening? I just don't see the place in the schedule where you can sneak that in.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people out there who probably agree with you. But if my dad is up right now listening, he would say, oh, yeah, you want to see me sneaking a nap? Because he will do it, Ty. It doesn't take much for Steve Asman to fall asleep on the couch and start snoring. So I fully expect that to happen. It doesn't. These games today could be as good as any football game ever played. And I'm telling you, my dad is capable of going full nap at some point. My projection, based on looking at where the games are slated here and kind of my in my mind the food schedule at my aunt and uncle's house later today, I'm going to project probably around 3:45 will be the first Steve Asman nap at some point, right towards the end of that Packers-Lions game.
But that can't. So, Mr. Steve Asman, first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to you. So it can't happen at 3:45. This is a divisional game between two teams that, as you alluded to, have failed to meet expectations so far this year, but two teams that came into the season with realistic Super Bowl expectations. It's a 3-point spread, divisional game, coming down to the wire. If he's a big football fan, which I've heard you talk about him before, he can't be falling asleep at 3:45.
I'm telling you, once he starts going in on the food, all bets are off. But for everyone else, I'm with you, Ty. The game should be good, and you look at some of the totals, by the way, right? If you're going to play any of the potential bets you could make, I mean, the over/under for that first game is 48.5, and based on how the Lions play and the fact that they are at home, of course, if they go out there and they get rolling, and we know Green Bay at times has looked like an offensive machine, other times they've been inconsistent, I could see that game being very high scoring. All the games today have pretty high over-under totals. I mean, the Bengals-Ravens game tonight's 51.5. The Chiefs-Cowboys game could be a track meet as well at 52.5. So, honestly, the best way for people to not sleep is if we get some of these games today to go over their projected point totals, and we get a lot of scoring in these games.
So you said you're going to your aunt and uncle's house today. What's the schedule? Because this is always a popular topic, and it's the low-hanging fruit. What time do you guys start eating? Because Listen, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I'm in a black household. They'll send the text, we're going to start at 3:30. That damn sure ain't happening. Jacob, we'll bring you in later. Get your thoughts on that. So I'll say about 4 or 5 o'clock is when we start ripping and running through these different items on the menu. When do you guys start to get going here?
Great question. I would say there's always like the initial, soiree of appetizers and different things that are out when you first arrive, whether that be maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock, although I'll probably get there a little bit later. And then it's really nonstop. Like there's no like set dinner time. I know some people have like the dinner one, and there's maybe like an intermission, like it's a Broadway show, and then you come back for like dinner too. It's really kind of throughout the day it's turned into. So I don't know if we have like a set schedule. I gotta like even like reach out to my aunt and uncle and be like, hey, what time are people showing up? It's kind of like you just show up and the games are on. So if you want to get there early, my uncle will be locked into the games. You could do that, and there'll be food throughout the day. And really the key is, Ty, the nonstop flow of either whiskey or wine or whatever your cocktail of choice is. I mean, that could get going as early as 1 o'clock today when that first game kicks off, because my uncle's going to be locked in. He already texted me yesterday morning for my picks for each of the games. So He's already starting to put together the betting card.
I love that setup. See, the difference is for us, we've always had, and this applied to like Sunday dinners as well. I don't know why, but there's always been this rule of you can't dip into anything until everything is done. It was looked upon as like disrespectful, because I was the type of kid. I see some fried chicken wings ready. I'm dipping in there, but everything has to be done nicely placed on the table. We do the family ritual of we'll say a long prayer. And I say long, not that everyone wants the prayer to be long, but shout out to my step-pops, man. He's a pastor, so, once he gets started, there's no telling when he's going to be done. So we get the prayer done, and then everyone gets served. I hope it's early, because I would not like that to interfere with Chiefs-Cowboys. That's the game I'm most excited about today. It's the game you could argue with the most ramifications. Like, would you say, Jake, the loser of this game is likely going to miss the playoffs?
Ooh, you know what? It's interesting because Kansas City at 6-5. Had they lost to the Colts and it looked like down 20-9 in the fourth quarter, that would. I mean, every game the rest of the way would be an essential must-win. For Dallas, I'm checking the NFC standings right now one more time before I weigh on this. It feels like for Dallas, it is essentially a must-win because the 7th seed right now in the NFC is San Fran at 8-4. So if Dallas loses today, Ty, and they're 5-6-1, they would basically have to run the table and get some help, you would think, along the way. So it's an essential must-win for the Cowboys after they had an essential must-win last week in their comeback against Philly. Both teams, by the way, we just mentioned it, coming off now these incredible comebacks. I think that game, to your point, has the most stakes because, well, it would be a big blow for the Ravens to lose to Cincinnati tonight. They wouldn't be cooked because of their situation in the division. And the first game, well, it's a big game for both Detroit and a big game certainly for Green Bay. They're still right there in the mix because I like the Bears, but I don't know at 8-3 if I'm like dead set on like Chicago's just going to run away with it and win 11 or 12 games. Like, I still think the rest of the division is in play for the teams chasing the Bears.
I agree with you. Chicago, I still at 8-3 am not ready to declare them as this legit team because they've beaten one team this year above 500, and that was last week, the Steelers, who, by the way, started their backup quarterback in Mason Rudolph. So tomorrow's a big one for Chicago. Here's the case for Kansas City. And again, 800-919-3776. We'll take your calls. We'll get to the Jets and Giants. Kansas City's problem simply is they're not going to win the AFC West. So it comes down to those wild card spots, and they're just losing head-to-head to Jacksonville and Buffalo in tiebreakers. Now, next week, Thursday, they'll play the Texans, who should have C.J. Stroud back. And the Texans have an argument, and Jake, you were down there, so you know this team very well. There's a case that's the best defense in football. So that's a big game for KC next week. But in losing tiebreakers to the Jags and the Bills, you fall to 6. They're the 10 seed right now. They're the 10 seed. So you'll have Jacksonville, Buffalo, Houston, and I guess throw the Chargers in, all battling in Pittsburgh and Kansas City. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams battling for 4 spots. And Kansas City, what helps them is, this is a non-conference game, so it's not going to really affect their tiebreaker percentages, but they've already lost some of these heads-to-heads. It's massive for them. It's extremely massive.
Huge game for them. And, you said it. They're not going to win the division, which puts them in completely uncharted territory because during their dynastic run, there's only been a handful of times they've actually had to go on the road. Now, remember there was a narrative, Mahomes has never done it on the road, and then, he did. He went out there and he won several road playoff games, but for an
Buffalo,
entire playoff run,
Baltimore, it was an all-time great playoff, and beating that Miami team, beating Buffalo, beating Baltimore, and then winning the Super Bowl.
Yep. So he's done it before. They've never done it as a wild card, though, but they have, won games on the road. I think the interesting thing with Kansas City is their schedule down the stretch. You alluded to it with Houston, but some of their other remaining games, after that, to me, there's a clear path for them to potentially still get in, assuming they handle business today, which won't be easy because Dallas is playing well. You mentioned Houston, and Stroud should be back for that one, but they are at home, and I think they'd be a favorite in that one. Yeah. They play the Chargers, who have not been the same teams in some of their injuries. Then 2 of their final 3 are the Titans and the Raiders. So their most difficult game left is home against Denver. So I still think if I was going to bet on one of those teams we were talking about at the bottom of the AFC, the in-the-hunt teams, right, if you're going to do the old in-the-hunt line for those teams, I still would favor Kansas City to get in because I just can't picture Patrick Mahomes not making the playoffs when it's all said and done. Maybe that's lazy analysis because the Chiefs have not been the vintage Chiefs, but I'm still betting on the Chiefs and Mahomes to find a way to get in.
No, absolutely. It's not lazy at all. He has been afforded the benefit of the doubt because the one thing we can't do is just, 12 months ago, ask ourselves, is he on his way to surpassing Brady if he accomplishes this three-peat? And then right now say, he's got no shot because he's Mahomes. He's been afforded that benefit of the doubt. That's just how historically great he is. You know what's so interesting? You see Week 18? So Denver, Week 18, is hosting the Chargers. Why is that interesting? Because the Broncos, if they're locked into, let's just say they're locked into either the 1 or the 2 seed, they have a chance to, if they want to, keep Kansas City out of the playoffs. If this comes down to, let's just say it comes down for that 7 spot, Chargers and the Chiefs, Denver can just take a knee on the game and say, we'd rather the Chargers get into the playoffs, keep the Chiefs out. And it's not what you really want to do because it can come back to bite you. But you don't think every AFC team is rooting for Kansas City to be kept out? Would you rather? Think about if you're Denver and you had an excellent regular season, all that you've accomplished. Would it be fair for you? Is it favorable for first playoff game? Here comes Patrick Mahomes, and I get you beat him a couple weeks ago, but that's not what you want in Bo Nix's second career playoff game.
That'd be scary. You're right, because if they finish as the 7th seed, they'd play the 2, which right now would be Denver. I think to your point, can Denver be the 1 at that point? Would they have the bye? Because if Denver's playing for the bye, they'll take that game seriously to get the week off. So that's the unknown. And the problem is, I don't think New England, they're obviously a good team, and Mike Vrabel's done a phenomenal job in his first year there. Is New England really 10-2 good, or have they just beaten up on the easiest schedule you're ever going to see, right? New England has, I think, 2 solid wins this year, right? They went in Buffalo and won, and they beat Tampa when Tampa was still playing a lot better before, even more injuries they've suffered the last few weeks. Outside of that, though, I don't think New England's as good as their 10-2 record, but almost by default, they might be the 1 seed. But if the 1 seed is up for grabs the last week of the year, I think Denver will take the game seriously against the Chargers. So that's kind of the big unknown. Can you keep the Chiefs out of the playoffs? I think every team would sign for that. But imagine if you're either New England or Denver and you have this great year, you finish as the 2 seed in the conference, and your first game of the playoffs is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid coming to your building. That would scare the heck out of me if I was a fan of either of those teams.
The AFC playoffs, man, it's about to be really wild because we're going to have unproven quarterbacks at the top of the conference. Coming into the year, we would have said it's a lock, assuming health. which is not a great thing to assume with the first quarterback I'm going to say, but assuming health with Burrow, Lamar, Josh, and Patrick, those are your top 4 seeds. Burrow's not going to make the playoffs. It's on the board. Patrick, Lamar, and even Josh could miss the playoffs. So you're going to have unproven quarterbacks atop the conference, and you're going to have these MVPs if they do get in at the bottom. Jake, we could have Bills-Ravens as a 4-5 matchup in the opening round of the playoffs. You and Mike Tannenbaum breaking that down.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. I can't remember a year where there's been maybe this much parity on both sides of each conference. I mean, I gave a stat last week on that show that I do with Mike T, New York Game Day, Sundays 8 to noon. Oh, by the way, everyone should tune in. But I gave a stat that ESPN Research sent over to us that the 4 division leaders in the AFC at this time a week ago were all different than they were a year to the date. And 3 of the 4 Final Four teams from a year ago, so that was Baltimore, that was Houston, that was Kansas City, they all going into last week were 5-5, or Houston was 6-5 because they won on Thursday, or worse. So, every team in the AFC seemingly has a year where it could flip year over year, besides our team, the Jets, of course, Ty. But the rest of the conference,
they just can't figure it
out.
Yeah,
the Jets can never seem to benefit from this thing called parity in the NFL, but all these other teams have. So it just feels wide open, and you can make the case the same thing in the NFC. Even the Eagles, who are the defending champs, for a team that seemingly never loses games,
they leaky, man.
A lot of drama going on for a team that has lost like 5 times the last 2 years total.
Very, very leaky, which is why, and we'll take a break here. Getting back to the AFC, if you are Josh Allen and you are Lamar Jackson and you do not take advantage of the year where the Chiefs actually could miss the playoffs, boy, is that going to be something you live to regret. 800-919-3776. Yo, we getting it popping on this Thanksgiving morning. Ty Butler, Jake Asman filling in for DiPietro and Rothenberg, taking you until 10 o'clock. We'll hit you with the observations. Did it happen in Florida? Got some Yankee conversation we got to get to. Hal Steinbrenner seems like every time he opens his mouth, takes a huge L. Knicks get I don't want to call it a big win last night, but they took care of business against a bad Hornets team. So
it's making you emotional.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it. So we'll get to that. Jets and Giants, of course, on the table. A whole lot to do as we march you up until 10 o'clock right here on 880 ESPN, ESPN New York, and we're streaming live right here on YouTube.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Right now at Bay Ridge Honda, experience the wonder of holiday savings on Honda cars, trucks, and SUVs during Happy Honda Days, like the Accord SE, only $239 per month, or the all-wheel drive Honda Ridgeline for only $289 a month. These clearance deals won't last long. Plus, receive thousands in benefits and savings with their Bay Ridge Plus Advantage plan. Upfront pricing, total peace of mind. Visit BayRidgeHonda.com. 36 months lease, 7,500 miles per year, $38.99 down, plus tax, tag, and fees. See dealer for full details.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the weather first. before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown!
Yes! Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
All right, let's do it. Happy Thanksgiving. Ty Butler, Jake Asman going till 10 o'clock. So one thing you're thankful for, Jake, hit me.
Ooh. Thankful to be on the air with you this morning, Ty.
Wow.
That's right. Getting paid to talk about sports and make fun of my dad for falling asleep on the couch approximately.
Was he listening, by the way? Did he hit you with a text?
I don't think he's up yet, but I did text my uncle who is up listening that I'm going to make sure I roast my dad. Because you know the thing is, too, he's one of those people that just snores, and you can't avoid it. It's unavoidable. So I'm just preparing myself and really my eardrums for the Steve Asman, mid-afternoon snore as we're all gathered on Thanksgiving watching the football.
It'll just hit you randomly, right? Like you guys would be into the game, both watching, and then the next second he's just out cold.
It's automatic and it's quick, and you sometimes forget just how quick it could be because unfortunately I don't get to spend as much time with my dad. Normally we'd watch football together, but because I'm working and I'm not getting off till noon, it's not always easy for me to get to Long Island to watch the games like we did growing up. So Thanksgiving's always that great reminder of, oh yeah, he still has it. Still has the fastball. 99 on the black. He's going to take that mid-afternoon nap today.
It's so funny because my dad and my uncle are both like this and that. I don't know what the embarrassment is in just admitting you fell asleep. Like they'll fall asleep and you'll wake them up and they're like, I wasn't sleeping.
I was resting my eyes.
It's like, yo, I just heard you. My wife does that sometimes, and she gets, I guess, embarrassed by it because it's unladylike to snore. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, you were just snoring. She's like, no, I wasn't. Well, that doesn't make sense because I heard you snoring. You were sleeping. So how would you know more than I would know? I'm awake. You're sleeping. She's like, no, I wasn't snoring. As if I'm just making it up. Got no reason to make that up. You're snoring.
You hold people accountable in your family,
Hold
Ty,
them
which I
accountable.
respect.
We hold them accountable. I am thankful for the opportunity to spend Thanksgiving with my man Jake Asman, with my man Jacob Perry, my man Matt Boombaka, and not have to preview a Jets game. Because I will say, I feel like a fool just, 2 years ago, Black Friday, gathered up with the family thinking, yo, they might win this game. And then you look back and you say, well, why did I ever think that they could win that game? Tim Boyle, the pick six, it was so, quite literally deflating. We were all gathered in my mom's living room watching this, excited, pumped up. And as that moment is happening, just as you're about to say, this cannot be going on, this cannot be happening, you're like, of course it's happening. It's the Jets.
Oh, that game gives me just absolute nightmares. And honestly, here's what I remember the most about that game besides the Tim Boyle 99-yard pick six. Watching the game at where I'm going later today, at my uncle's house because it was Black Friday, but I went over to my aunt and uncle's house to watch the game with my dad. My uncle was a big Jets fan. And as Tim Boyle is throwing the now infamous 99-yard pick six before halftime, my uncle, right after the Dolphins player made the interception at the 1-yard line, and
Was
he starts
it
running
Javon
back.
Holland?
You're right. It was Javon Holland. As he starts running, I'm freaking out because I saw this in real time, like playing out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like starting to scream, and I just remember my uncle being like, "It's fine, they're gonna get him. It's fine, they're gonna tackle him." And he kept saying it, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then after Holland scored the touchdown, I screamed. I was so angry, so disgusted. The only good part about that entire day, Ty, is a good friend of mine who's a Jet season ticket holder offered me free tickets to go with him and his family to the game, like sit in the coaches club, like great 50-yard line seats. And I said no because I feared having to trek out on Black Friday, sitting in just loads of traffic, getting there and getting back to Long Island after the game. And the best thing I did was not go. That's the only good part about that devastating loss in the NFL's first ever Black Friday game, Jets-Dolphins. My God.
But here's the hilarious part, and I'm sure you'll remember this. The only reason why that play happened was because the Jets had just picked up an interception. Like right before that.
Brandon Echols, right?
Yeah,
Against
Brandon
Tua.
Echols got them the ball. It was a toe tap on the sideline. They would not have been in a position to embarrass themselves if not for a great play. So the curse of the great play.
Yeah.
Amazing,
oh my
man.
God. You know what too about that game I remember? Do you remember immediately after the pick six happens, right? Because the Jets are only trailing, and NFL, of course, on X tweeted the clip yesterday, so a nice little reminder about this play. So it's 10-6 at the time of that play, and immediately when they throw to halftime for the first commercial break after that play, you have the Bob Saleh, toothpaste commercial where he's brushing his teeth and smiling, and I mean, you talk about the worst timing ever for that commercial to drop. We're all disgusted with the Jets and their head coach, and the first commercial is Robert Saleh brushing his teeth, smiling after that debacle.
Oh, man. It's just that's what happens when you get two Jet fans. We commiserate. We bond over our misery, and we just long for better days.
We didn't talk butt fumble yet. That's another Jet play on Thanksgiving,
fumble.
Lord.
Oh, Lord. So that actually ended a Thanksgiving experience for me. I had just gotten with my now wife all those years ago, and once that play happens, like the party was shut down. Like everyone's just like, all right, this is over. We're out. It's so embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, this is what happens when we get together. We get to have some fun with our misery, and we'll watch great football today, Jake, and then be constantly reminded that, oh yeah, our team does play in the same league. Why doesn't it look that way? Like offense doesn't come that hard for other teams, but for the Jets, who seemingly our entire lives have not been able to find a quarterback, that's how it happens. 800-919-3776. Let's hit my man Dave in Mount Vernon, who bats leadoff today. What's up, Dave? Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. Talk to us.
Hey, well, I love the way that you guys opened the show. I want to touch upon the turkey conversation about the turkey being an overrated bird and kind of get perspective on this Thanksgiving Thursday. That it's not that the turkey is good or a great piece of meat. Obviously steak is better. However, it's the association that you make with the turkey, with the holiday, that makes it so special. So I think that you're kind of selling the bird short by concentrating on how good it tastes as opposed to the fact that when you taste it, you associate it with the holiday, similar to coquito with the holidays or eggnog and things like that. It's the association that makes it special, not the particular taste. It's like, when was the last time you had stuffing in July?
I love a little meat controversy on the show. What do you have to say to that, Jake?
Well, Dave, I think you make some salient points. Here would be my pushback. While we could appreciate the history of the turkey, it doesn't mean we don't evolve with the times. And I'm telling you, if the Pilgrims knew any better, if they could go back in time knowing what they know now, they wouldn't have chosen the turkey as the meat on the initial Thanksgiving. They would have went with the steak. They just didn't know it. So we could appreciate the turkey and still acknowledge that over time, people evolve, traditions change. So while we acknowledge the history of the turkey, we say steak is better for us going forward.
What do you have to say to that, Dave?
I'd say that the Lions and the Cowboys have absolutely soiled themselves during the course of the last 30 or 40 years of existence. Good to see that we have some great games today. But I think that Thanksgiving would not be nearly as special football-wise without those two teams. And as an Eagles fan myself, I can even admit that the holiday is more special with the Cowboys losing on a Thursday.
I appreciate the call. Jay. Speaking of the Cowboys losing, I found this jarring. Now, I don't want to take it out of context, but I get like and I'm sure you do as well, Jake, the show recaps. And I saw, courtesy of our man Anthony Pusick, who does a tremendous job, him and Jacob Perry on DHR, that Don LaGreca, who I've got mad respect for, and my man Peter Rosenberg, who I'm friends with, that's my dude. They are both rooting for the Cowboys today. The Cowboys. For context, Don, a lifelong Giants fan. Peter Rosenberg, a lifelong Commanders fans, are so disgusted with Kansas City that they are rooting for the Cowboys. Again, I don't want to take it out of context. Jacob, can you verify this is true? You were on the show yesterday?
Now, I did not work the show yesterday, but I was.
That's a bad job out of me.
I was actively listening, and I was shocked by Don, but I think I was more shocked by Peter because his disgust of the Chiefs every year. He talks about, I don't want them to go to the Super Bowl. I don't want them to win. And then he picks them to win. But I will say the one thing that Peter got me on is the storyline. Now, is it more? Does the story matter more if the Chiefs lose now? If they lose now, this season is
probably cooked.
They're probably done now. If they lose at the end of the season, maybe the last game of the season or probably the first round of the playoffs. For those Chiefs haters, don't you feel a whole lot better? So I do think on both accounts, both hosts, Don and Peter, fraud.
Yeah, and they do a segment, Fraud Alert Fridays. So if that's not somewhere on the show 8 days from now, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. And again, mad love for those gentlemen. But the idea that you could root for the Dallas Cowboys is insane to me. Your thoughts, Jake?
So this reminds me of the conversation that I remember having on this radio station, back in January when there were Jet fans that were rooting for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game tie because they hated the Chiefs so much and they were sick of the Chiefs. And I remember saying then, and I'll say it now, what? How could you root for a division rival, especially, by the way, if you're a Jet fan rooting for the Bills? The one thing, as bad as the Jets might be, the one thing they have over the Bills is that the Jets have won a Super Bowl and the Buffalo Bills never have. You want to give the Bills a chance to get to the Super Bowl and potentially break through and win that elusive championship? No way. So to me, it's similar here. I get it. You might be tired of the Chiefs. You might be annoyed that they show Taylor Swift every other play after Travis Kelce does something. I get all that. It's annoying. They won. They're no longer lovable. They've become hated. I understand everything that people don't like with the Chiefs. But come on. If you're a Giant fan or a Commanders fan and you're rooting for the Cowboys today, I question the fandom. Because if you're a diehard fan of your respective team, you can't root for a division rival.
Yeah, it means you're not a diehard.
Exactly.
It means that because it is very, very easy to get to a place where, like, no one loves dynastic teams unless you're a fan of that team. We saw it with the Bulls, the Lakers, the Celtics. So it's easy to get to a place where you grow tired of said team, but you can't hate them more than your division rival. And Dallas, who no one outside of Cowboy Nation likes, they don't become more hated than the Chiefs, or they don't become less hated than the Chiefs, I should say. That, to me, is as bad of a sports rooting take as you could have. 800-919-3776, just getting started on this Thanksgiving morning. Ty Butler, Jake Asman going until 10 a.m. We'll get to your phone calls. Jets and Giants play games this weekend. The Yankees, got to talk about them. Hal Steinbrenner, what's going to happen? How about the Blue Jays making a big splash in free agency. So a whole lot to get to. The Knicks, of course, as well, before we get out of here at 10 o'clock, right here on 880 ESPN, ESPN New York. And we're streaming live right here on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Greg Richard. At PC Richard & Son, we close our doors on Thanksgiving Day. What? We do, because it's a time for family and friends, not shopping. So enjoy your Thanksgiving Day, and we'll see you on Friday with deals all day long. Happy Thanksgiving.
The fall savings event continues this November at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $169 per month, or the 2025 Mazda CX-5 Select for as low as $229 per month, and get as low as 0.9% APR financing rates on select models. Plus, enjoy 1 year complimentary of Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Target's Black Friday deals are delivering big surprises all week long, like 40 to 50% off top holiday gifts, plus thousands more deals in-store and online, all with free shipping. Load up on all the season's must-haves with huge deals on tech, video games, toys, floor care, clothing for the family, and so much more. Hurry! These deals are going fast. 40 to 50% off gifts and Saturday. Only at Target. Free shipping applies to orders over $35.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spike Dade, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
I love it. This is what I'm talking about. Thanksgiving tunes. Ty Butler, Jake Asman going till 10 o'clock. Yo, Jake, how about this? Got a little suggestion in the chat for you. If you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or, just adding to everything that you got going on, How about we drop the ass coin?
The amount of jokes that people were making at my expense when my Twitter got hacked. I heard the Ascoin thing a couple times.
Yo, that's popping, Jake. Come on, dog.
Yeah, you look. If I wish some of the things my Twitter account that was hacked was tweeting were true. Did you see the home I apparently bought from mining all this crypto? It was
I was scared.
unbelievable.
See, I get afraid. I try to zoom right past it because I don't know what the rules of engagement are. Literally, like if you click on it, like do I all of a sudden become compromised? So I was nervous. I was opening any DMs. I didn't want any of that smoke with these hackers.
The craziest thing is, it said not only did I buy this like gorgeous mansion because of all this crypto I was apparently. I don't even know what crypto mining even means, but apparently that's what my Twitter account says I was doing when I was hacked. I bought this unbelievable like Range Rover car as well. And then in the DMs, I was messaging people that I won this like prestigious award from Spotify, and it was just like randomly DMing like anyone that either is verified that followed me or we mutually follow each other. So we're talking to the most random of people, like former Jet safety Victor Green. It's shooting a message to Wally Zerbiak. It's shooting a message to Pat O'Keefe is getting a DM from me. So again. I apologize to like 150 people that got DMs being like, hey, I got this award from Spotify. Vote for me. Don't click it. Otherwise, you might be hacked like I was for 3 days.
Wait, did any of these esteemed folks hit you back? Like, Jake, what's going on here?
Thankfully, only a couple did, and I tried to respond as quickly as I can. Hey, I got hacked. Like, don't respond. But, it messaged, Brendan Burke, the great voice of the Islanders. It shot a DM to Bill Ruckert, Jeremy Ruckert's dad. Like it's Stephon Marbury. I'm going through it now. It DM'd at ESPN New York. So do not click it if you're Jacob or Brumbaka back in the studio running the ESPN New York X account. Don't click any link I sent when I was hacked.
All right, so crypto mining is the process of using powerful computers to validate transactions and create new coins on a blockchain network, primarily through a proof-of-work consensus mechanism. So that's what you were engaged in. Little did you know.
Still don't understand whatever you just said. It's above my pay grade.
800-919-3776. Just having some fun on this Thanksgiving morning. I want to hit on the Jets just because, I got into, I don't want to say an argument because that feels aggressive, but it was a heated discussion with someone last week who comes up to me and he says, I hope the Jets don't beat the Ravens. That would be a terrible, terrible win. And I just look at this thing differently. I understand fundamentally why folks would look at winning games in a lost season as counterproductive and bad. But here is what I would argue. And we're going to hear from Aaron Glenn in a moment. Ending your season at 2-15 is an indictment of the entire organization. And by the way, for people who were rooting for a disastrous season to lead to the exodus of Glenn and Muji, we know that's not happening. So I am now forced to root for, even if I don't think they're any good, I'm forced to root for them because 2-15 to me says that you're bad. You put together a roster that was only good enough to win 2 games against the Browns and the Bengals, who both stink. So I need to, again, in the midst of what has been a horrific season, learn that there's some improvement in the head coach. Game mismanagement that was a disaster, a train wreck early. I need to know that he's at least getting better. I need to know that the team is talented. So if that comes with sacrificing some draft positioning, I'm cool with it if it means that I learned that I have a good head coach, because here's the reality. What good is having the number 1 overall pick if the guys in charge of making those selections both stink? So I want to see them win football games. It's also unnatural to as Breece Hall is marching into the end zone. He's fighting for yardage, and he fumbles that ball last week. Ahead of that play, am I man, I hope he fumbled? Of course not. So that's just my stance on it. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I am not of the mindset that the Jets should be tanking, or am I at a point where I'm rooting for losses?
This is the most difficult conversation to have, and what sucks is that we have to have the conversation as Jet fans because instead of talking about this team being in the hunt on Thanksgiving and having a chance to end the longest playoff drought in professional sports, you have to do the debate amongst your fellow Jet fans. Is it better to win this game or to lose? And that's what's just terrible about all of it. To me, there's no wrong answer here. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Like, to me, if the Jets are going to win games, I'm not going to sit here and scream and be that upset. And I've already accepted that over the Jets' final now, 6 games that they have to go. They're going to win a couple of them. Like, to me,
I think they're going 2-2, by the way, in the next 4.
They certainly can, right? You're talking about playing Atlanta in the cold weather Sunday, and the Jets have played a lot better of late, so that's a winnable game. Miami in the cold the week after that is winnable. Even Jacksonville, I don't think is impossible. You got a game left with the Saints. So I've accepted the Jets are probably going to win at least 2 more games. And with all the draft capital they now have, I feel like if there's a quarterback they love, they're going to go up and make a move and get that guy. Now, the argument to losing is that you don't have to trade anything to go up and get your guy. You might be able to just stick and pick and have more resources to put into your team. So I see that side of it. Where I fall in the middle, though, Ty, is if the Jets are going to win games, I don't want it to be, the way they won the Browns game, where it's like an outlier performance by your special teams having 2 touchdowns, 1 on a kick return, 1 on a punt return, and Justin Fields minus a check down screen to Breece Hall would have had 12 passing yards in a win. Like, if they're going to win, I want it to be because the O-line was awesome. Breece Hall's doing his thing. You're going to get contributions from John Mechie, and you're going to get contributions from A.D. Mitchell, and defensively, A.Z. Thomas is making plays in the secondary, and Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson are a big reason why you're winning. So it's such a fine line to try and walk because you want them to win because of their young players if they're going to win. And if they're going to lose, I'm also not going to sit here and scream and yell and be upset like I was at the beginning of the year because it does help them with a better draft pick, not have to give up as much to get their quarterback.
But here's the case against that. It's fluky because, why? It's a kick return and a punt return. But special teams is a phase of the game, which if we flip it, right, and they were a disaster on special teams, we saw them lose week 1 because of a special teams mistake, we'd be crushing them. So that is part of coaching. And again, it can feel fluky like a bloop single. Like, is that a testament to a guy being awesome or did he get lucky? I think if you're winning games and your defense, I get it's Dylan Gabriel, but your defense played well against the Browns and you're getting contributions from special teams, that to me falls under the category of good coaching, which we've seen Glenn, and I'll give him credit because we were both critical of him early, which I heard a lot of Jet fans. Like, if we're seeing improvements in that regard, to me, that matters. And look, by the way, Jake, this is not like some hard, fastened anti-tank rule because I think the Giants are the complete opposite. Because the Giants have their quarterback, because the Giants are going to have a new head coach, and I don't think that wins carry over, I think that winning for them, and we'll talk about them next hour, would be a disaster. But for the Jets, because you have a head coach who's trying to preach a message and have said message resonate, we talk about culture building all the time. The best way to build a culture is to put some W's together. And I just think 2-15 is a horrible sign.
Don't disagree with that. I think the Giants, you nailed it. Because they have their quarterback, you want them to win games with Dart playing well. How could you be upset about that? Because his development is the biggest thing. You look at it from the Jets standpoint, while 2-15 would be terrible, the counter to that would be, what's the biggest difference between finishing 2-15 and 4-13? Like, if you're competitive in these games, and the Jets, they have not been blown out in their losses, even the game in New England, right? They hung around, and if they got better quarterback play that night, say Tyrod started the game, maybe not only did the Jets cover the spread, but maybe, they have a chance to win in the fourth quarter like they did against Baltimore a week after that. So I think it just depends how it looks, right? I'm not expecting the Jets to go out there and win a ton of games. What I would like to see, though, is them to not get blown out, remain competitive. And you brought up the head coach. I think he's been better after a disastrous start to his tenure. The bar's still low. If the best thing I could say about Aaron Glenn is that they play for him, they play hard for him, they don't quit on him, that's a pretty low bar for him to clear, but he has cleared that bar. Like, I just don't want to see a regression back to what the Jets were when they were 0-7. If they're competitive and they're kind of what they've been the last few weeks, they'll win a couple more games and still have a chance at a top 6 pick to get their quarterback.
But that's my point. Because you say, what's the difference between 2 wins and 4 wins? Well, the difference is if you're competitive the last 6 games, you're just going to run into a couple of these wins. It's going to be hard to lose that game against the Saints. It's going to be hard to lose. You could say that the Atlanta, Miami. If you're competitive against teams you can beat, at some point you're going to beat them. And look, we know the firing is not going to happen. But obviously, the case to fire someone is a lot stronger at 2-15 than it is at 4-13. I just think that if I am trying to find reasons to be encouraged by this head coach, who over the first 7 weeks of the season had given me nothing, the way those reasons come are in the form of wins against mediocre to bad teams. Again, it's not ideal, right? I'd love to control the board. But if you're getting shut out post Cleveland Week 10, I'm back to having the same concerns and question marks about this head coach that I had when they were 0-7 to start the season.
Yeah, look, I can't tell you you're wrong for feeling that way. But even if they finish with 4 wins, I think or even 5 wins if you want to give them an extra one somewhere, I still would have the major concerns with the coach, because the reality is we've seen the Jets have years where they finish strong and we're being sold on this is great for the culture, and ultimately it doesn't matter. And until they get the quarterback, I understand why Jet fans are like, let's just lose these games. We've lost so much already. Deal with a couple more losses and have control of the draft where we don't need to trade away, a 1 and then some to go up from pick 5 to pick 1 if we don't have to. We could stay at pick 2 and just get our quarterback without trading up. That's better for the franchise. It stinks because I don't know if there's a wrong answer. The one thing I will defend Aaron Glenn and the Jets players on, like, fans get upset when you hear Aaron Glenn yesterday say, like, we're not tanking, we're trying to win every game. That's the right answer. You want the coach and the players to not give a you-know-what about draft positioning. A lot of them won't even be here. And 2, players play. And for Aaron Glenn in particular, let's be real. If the Jets finish with 4 wins this year, Ty, and then next year they go out there and win 6 games, we're going to use Aaron Glenn's record against him when evaluating him as a coach. We're going to say he's won 10 games through his first 2 seasons. That makes him a bad coach. These games, we could say, they don't matter for the Jets, just lose and get a better draft pick. They matter for Aaron Glenn when we're evaluating his record and we're saying whether or not he's a good head coach or not, and we point to the record as the first thing we use as a barometer to gauge if he's doing a good job or not.
Could anyone imagine how silly it would be if that man went up in front of the media yesterday and said, yeah, you know what? Because of draft positioning, we want to lose these games. Like, that would be in itself a fireable offense. You're losing your entire locker room. Your owner doesn't want to hear that. Like, it is objectionable for any fan to get mad at that cut, which we will hear on the other side of this break. 1 hour down, 3 more to play with Ty Butler, Jake Asman, taking you till 10 a.m. right here on DiPietro and Rothenberg. It's ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and streaming live right here on YouTube.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Hey, it's Michael K. talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you could trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
The Fall Savings Event continues this November at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $169 per month, or the 2025 Mazda CX-5 Select for as low as $229 per month, and get as low as 0.9% APR financing rates on select models. Plus, enjoy 1 year complimentary of Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
Empower.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Ty Butler, Jake Asman going till 10 o'clock. Popular Jay-Z record. Girls, Girls, Girls. And the reason why I had our guy Matt Bumbaka, who's on the ones and twos today, play this song coming in is because, Jake, it wouldn't be a show if we did not reference your esteemed title. You're the Asman. So this holiday season, how do you divvy up your time between all the girls, girls, girls?
Look, it's Turkey Day. Today's a day
family?
To be with the family, watch the football, and the copious amounts of ladies tie. And they got to wait till Black Friday.
So you getting a discount on the ladies?
Whoa. I mean, I don't kiss and tell, but there's plenty of time the rest of the weekend. That's we get the extra day. A lot of people not working tomorrow, although I'll be doing the morning show tomorrow from 6 to 10. But for everyone else, it's that's the day where you make hay. Today's the day for the family.
You're living quite the life, man. Because I don't want to give away too much information, but I do believe you live in the city. You live alone, so you're just like at the epicenter.
I'm not far from where the parade route will be, or at least part of it. So maybe I'll see if I could
pop on one of the floats.
Yeah, get off the air at 10, hustle down the street, and see if I could jump on one of the floats and be a part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, like Michael Kay was back in 1996 with the world champion Yankees. I saw that clip resurfacing. Yep. How about the jackets, by the way, that the Yankees were wearing in that on that day in some of those social clips that are out there? If they sold that today, those would sell out instantly. Those throwback 96, winter parka coats.
Back when the Yankees were, winning championships, that was cool. That was like a thing that, we lived through.
It's only been 15 years, but, Hal Steinbrenner doesn't have any money, so we can't expect the Yankees to, win another title anytime soon.
The Yankees are going broke. You know what? The Yankees actually might be involved in this crypto mining thing. They got to make some money. Like, this is a disaster on their hands. Hal told us the other day, don't believe the hype. That printing money thing, despite how expensive beer and hot dogs are at state and all the parking, they're not making a lot of money. So let's start a GoFundMe for the New York Yankees. Thoughts and prayers. Happy Thanksgiving to you all out there. Ty Butler, Jake Asman. Hit us up, DNR on ESPN, Ty D. Butler at Jake Asman. We are talking some football now, getting into the Jets and the Giants. Before we go back to the phone calls at 800-919-3776, Jake alluded to this prior to the break, but Aaron Glenn did address the media yesterday and also addressed Jet fans who believe that this team is better off tanking.
Let me give you a line that you guys heard before. You play the game to win, and it's just not in a coach or player's mentality to go out there and lose games. It's just not, we're not built that way. We're built to go out there and play as hard as we can to try to get as many wins as we can. And then we let everything else take care of itself as far as draft and all that. But anytime we step on the grass, we're trying to improve. You play the game to win.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. So whenever you're going to, quote a famous line in Jet history, and not just Jet history, but like football history, that clip gets passed around quite often. It just feels like in the moment, it was too big for him. It was like the end of the half in Denver, where he just kind of lost his mind and couldn't figure out the clock situation. The moment was too big. Jake, it almost feels like him quoting Herm, like last minute just escaped him. It was rough. That's not what Herm said.
Do we have what Herm said for those who don't remember?
My decision.
Not bad.
Do we have Herm saying,
hello,
you play to win the game?
Do
we have that?
To win the game.
Working on it.
Oh, we almost got it. But let's hear let's hear that play the game to win. Let's hear that Aaron Glenn one more time.
You play the game to win.
That's very sad.
Hello, you play to win the game.
It was close. The genesis of what he said is the same, but it is a little bit different. When Herm said that, by the way, the Jets were in the midst of a 2-5 start to their season, and then they rallied to win the AFC East, and that's the last time the Jets actually won the division in the 0-2 season. So we can only hope that Aaron Glenn trying to manifest his inner coach, Herm Edwards, will help lead the Jets to not being terrible.
We're looking at every area of need, and we.
But
don't we kind of feel like, though? And I actually feel like we want to give credit to Glenn because he's cleaned up a lot of what tormented fans, sloppiness, undiscipline, just game mismanagement, and him being, snarky with the media. But that cut almost feels like an encapsulation of the Jet season. Like we can't even get the famous Herm Edwards quote right. Like the little.
You play the game to win.
Like we can't even get the little things right.
Yeah, it's not great. I will say this for Glenn. He's been a lot better with the media the last couple of weeks. Like, Absolutely. He hasn't been – maybe a little humble pie has been served his way on Thanksgiving here. He's been less combative. He's gone out of his way. It's like subtle things I notice as, like, someone that works in sports radio. Like, he'll, like, acknowledge, like, that's a good question, or, hey, I see where you're coming from, but here's why we do this. So he's been a little better in that regard. It's almost like someone got to him and said, hey, man, like, stop picking fights when you're 2-9. Not the best approach. You don't need to do that. And that, to me, Ty, one of the things that surprised me about Glenn, for a guy who played in this market and a guy who was a really good player here and was a scout here and was around the Jets, when Mike Tannenbaum was their general manager, he really has not come in and distinguished himself with the way he's kind of handled being the Jet coach and how combative he was. It's starting to get better, and maybe that's a good sign. But for a guy that was in this market and should understand kind of how it works and what happens here, it really was surprising to me just his approach that he took initially and really took through the first 10 games of the Jet season.
Which goes back to as early as, what was it, like spring? When he was and this is prior to the Aaron Rodgers decision, where he's asked about, what are you doing at quarterback? And he's like, it's disrespectful to the other 52 guys in the locker room. And it's like, dude, get a grip, man. Like, it is obviously, and you would admit, the most important position on this team, because you are going to exhaust every resource possible to nail it this coming offseason, whether it's via the draft or trade. a reporter asking you about the quarterback, it's not unfair. And then the way he dismissed Aaron, I thought was clunky and unprofessional into the press conferences where he's combative. And a lot of Jet fans are hitting me up like, oh, he is changing the culture. He's telling them he's not taking stuff from the media. And I'm like, guys, it's fine. If you want to establish you are the head honcho here, cool. You don't have to disrespect the media. You don't have to treat them like they're idiots, like they're dumb. They serve as a conduit to the fans. And even if you don't think the fans are important, you know who believes the fans are important? This new age of athletes who in halftime they're scrolling on their social media pages. So the athletes are paying attention to what the fans say. Like all of that stuff is important. And I think he has made what is a pretty significant change audible in that he's a little bit more respectable. He's a little bit more, like you said, I appreciate the question. Good question. Like that stuff to me, it's subtle, but it matters.
You have to earn the right to be a jackwagon with the media. You're like Bill Belichick could get away with it because he won.
And
right?
by the way, we didn't love it, though.
No.
When Belichick did it, we
But
complained
you get the benefit
about
of the doubt when you do it and you win.
Exactly.
And fans won't care. Like when Glenn first came in, there were a lot of Jet fans who were like, yeah, like he's stuffing Rich Cimini in a locker. Oh, yeah, take that Brian Costello. Take that Connor Hughes. Like just going at it with some of the reporters. People like that. But then when you start losing or you start to play games about, well, I'm not going to – I know who the starting quarterback is, but I'm not going to tell you. And it's like, dude, at the time you're 2-7. Stop trying to tell us that there's some sort of competitive advantage between Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields, right? Like, notice there's no longer a competitive advantage not naming who the starting quarterback is once they finally made the move to Tyrod Taylor. So he's been different in that regard, and I think for the better. Ultimately, none of this matters if he doesn't win, but it just creates unnecessary drama. And you had a great tweet about this a few weeks ago. For a guy who talks about, eliminating the outside noise, and, that's why we can't bring Rodgers back because he's a celebrity quarterback, he, by having some of these combative press conferences, brought in a lot of the outside noise. And for a guy who doesn't want any of that, he's also seems to be very in tune and aware of what people are saying about him and his team. So what I hope is, because clearly he's not going anywhere, I think they could finish 2-15, and he's not going to get fired. He's here for next year no matter what. I hope he just learns from this year and shows signs of improvement because, to your point, Ty, it doesn't matter where the Jets are picking or who the quarterback is they end up getting. If Aaron Glenn doesn't get better as a head coach, they're not going to win no matter who their quarterback is next year. And that's why I hope this has been a giant learning experience for him, and he does show some real signs of improvement going into year 2.
That tweet, by the way, blew up, and it was amazing the amount of Jet fans that attacked me for pointing out something that was just objectively true. At Ty D. Butler, at Jake Asman, by the way. 800-919-3776. Let's go to Jennifer. She's calling from Honduras. What's up, Jennifer? Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello. No, I'm calling from Tom's River.
Oh, Tom's River. This said Honduras.
It says Honduras on the call screen. I mean, that's quite the mix up there.
Well, that threw me off a little bit.
Have you been to Honduras?
Nope.
That's amazing.
Not from
I want to
there.
know how we got to Honduras from Tom's River.
Maybe the guys in the studio want to go to Honduras. But go ahead,
It's in Southern America. I am from El Salvador, but I was born here. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I did want to, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you for actually doing the show, Ty. I did I wanted to talk to you as well, and Jake, thank you for for doing what you're doing. I've been listening to the show since it started. I'm not even going to go back to that. I wanted to talk about the Jets. Okay. I am actually going to the Jets game on Sunday. One of my very good friends has company seats, and I had originally, committed to it. So, not that I don't want to go. It's just I am in Tom's River. It's quite a drive to go there and come back in the same day. But because of what's going on, the last time I called you, I called you a few Saturdays ago, embarrassing, thinking that the Jets could win more than, I don't know, a few games. And clearly, it's not going to happen. It's not like I want to go to a tank show this, Sunday that I have to go and see. But, that's what's going to happen, apparently. And the other thing I wanted to say is I have a thing with, if you could cuddle, marry, trash, 3 of these things.
Okay.
All right, because I'm Hispanic, so I do cook. I'm actually the main cook, but I'm cooking.
Let's do it. All right, let's do it. We got some food on deck. Let's hear it.
Yep. I'm going to culinary trash something. Turkey, pernil, and stuffing.
So let's say this one more time. Turkey.
Pernil.
Pernil.
Oh, not like Dave says it.
Pernil. Pernil.
Pernil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And stuffing. All right. Appreciate the call, Jennifer. This one is pretty easy to me. I'll go pernil. My wife is Hispanic, so, that's on deck. I go stuffing as the cuddle, and I'm trashing turkey. I think you're going to agree with me because you disparaged turkey at the top of the show. So what do you got? Turkey, pernil, and stuffing.
All right, I'll be the white guy here. What is Belnid? What is? I have no idea what that is.
Pernil. It's
Spell it.
It's like pork shoulder.
It's P-E-R.
Yeah, P-E-R-N-I-L.
N-I-L.
So it's like shredded pork shoulder, and it's really good. And so you've never had it before?
I've had pork before. Big fan.
It's like roast pork, and I guarantee you, if you've ever had it or remember having it, or have it for the first time, you will put that ahead of turkey. But
really?
I guess out of ignorance, you're going to trash that one just because you don't remember ever having it.
You know what? I'm going to trash stuffing, believe it or not. I'm not a stuffing guy. I'm trashing stuffing. Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm not a stuffing guy. I'm not. I can't lie to you.
Maybe you don't have the right person preparing the stuffing. Is the stuffing coming out of the turkey?
I believe so. I haven't had stuffing in years, though. You know what? I'll tell you what, Ty. I'm going to be mature today. I'm going to try stuffing again and see if I like it a little more.
And then report back to us tomorrow because you're doing 6 to 10.
I will circle back with you, yes.
Circle back.
I will check in. I honestly, I'm going to take your guys' word, and I will marry the what is the pronunciation?
Pernil.
The pernil.
Pernil. A little slow-cooked pork roast. That's what the first definition I see.
Pernil. P-E-R-N-I-L.
I'm in. I'm gonna marry that. I'll cuddle the turkey.
Trash the stuffing.
I'm gonna trash the stuffing, but I'm gonna try the stuffing again and give it another whirl today, and I will circle back tomorrow on the program.
Very disappointed in you, Jake. Very, very disappointed. Let's hit Kyle in Rockaway. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, gentlemen? Happy Thanksgiving. How are you?
Same to you, my man. What's going on? Talk to us.
I don't understand how Jake can live in the city and not have a food cart around with oxtail or pernil. Come on, man.
Yeah,
they're
man.
around, Kyle.
He's not living life correctly.
I usually do the hot dog. Usually a little soubrette hot dog. I like halal though. I'll give it a whirl. I'll tell you what. Now, I will go out of my way to experience some of this food that we're discussing today to make myself more of a man of culture.
Very, very good. And, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I just wanted to talk about the Jets and two things: the Jets and the NFL holiday schedule a little bit more broadly. So, I think that and I've had some discussions with friends about this. The Jets are so talent poor right now. Who is their signature player at any position? Right, like you had
Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, who's
Breece
hurt
Hall,
right
maybe. But
maybe.
he might be on the way out the door, right? So I hope not too. But like when you talk about Quinn and Sauce, you had guys that were all pros at their position, right? And
Correct.
Sauce was a guy who was multiple time first team all pro.
Mm-hmm.
So like those are two pretty important positions, I think. To have a defensive tackle at that position at that level and a cornerback at that level. I think that they need to upgrade their overall talent on this team And if the quarterback is not there this year, I would be reluctant to force it. If the quarterback is there, by all means, trade up and get him. A guy you believe in, absolutely. But I wouldn't be against, say, taking some picks since there's 12 in this draft and trading up to get guys in day 2 of next year and really load up for next year. I want to make sure that we're upgrading the overall talent level on the team on our timeline now, since we've shifted the timeline. That's my major concern. By all means, if the quarterback is there this year, go and get him. If you can get him Mendoza or you like him more, whoever, insert your name here, go get him. But I don't want to force it if you don't believe in the guy. Second of all.
Oh, go ahead, because I got a comment on that.
The NFL holiday schedule. It looked like for a while there the Jets were going to get Black Friday. It didn't work out, and they decided to do it on a rotating basis. I don't understand why this is hard for the NFL. They have 2 NFC teams in the middle of the country, North and South, that dominate actual Thanksgiving Day in Dallas and Detroit and have for decades. Why can't they give 2 AFC teams, 1 East Coast, I would have liked the Jets, around these holidays, and 1 West Coast team, maybe the Raiders, maybe the Chargers, big markets, right? I understand that, they want to give all these teams a different, spotlight or whatever, but I think that there's a way to do it across the holiday schedules with Christmas and New Year's coming more into play, where they can highlight some of these divisions and division rivalries, and it was just really kind of disappointing that the Jets didn't get Good Friday, and maybe the Raiders didn't get a second game on Good Friday or Black Friday rather.
Well, here's the thing, Kyle, and we appreciate your call. This is the wrong year to have that take. All 4 games, in theory, are excellent. The Jets, who I love, Jake loves, are an abomination. I do not want to see them on Thanksgiving or Black Friday. Another thing, tell me what you think about that, Jake.
Well, Black Friday I'd be okay with. Thanksgiving to me is a no, because I put myself in the shoes of a Lions or a Cowboys fan. If you're a diehard fan of those teams, your Thanksgiving is in the hands of your football team every year. I don't like that, especially with – I know the Lions are good now, but the Lions were at a point where they were so bad for so many years. One of the popular sports radio topics we did every year was, should the NFL remove the Lions from playing on Thanksgiving every year because we were tired of watching a bad team? Like, how many years did we watch just putrid football in Detroit? So they kept the tradition of Detroit and Dallas, right? For the most part, those teams are competitive now every year. You at least get – good games there, and I like the fact the third game is a rotation of usually a pretty good matchup. I know the Bengals' record's not any good, but you have Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson tonight. That's an exciting, intriguing game. So I wouldn't do anything with the Thanksgiving schedule at this point. If the Jets were on Black Friday every year, I would be okay with that because at least it wouldn't ruin my Thanksgiving, and it's Friday, so then you get the game out of the way, and then you could watch the Jets or all the other games stress-free on Sunday. So that's how I kind of look at it as a diehard fan. But I would not want my team to play on Thanksgiving every year because if the Jets would lose, it would then ruin the entirety of my Thanksgiving, and I would not be able to really enjoy my weekend at that point. I would just be upset. It's depressing.
It's hard to recover from that. The other thing, and I know we got to hit a break here, is people keep saying this, and I'm not coming at Kyle, but just in general, they're playing the hit of, well, don't force it. Don't trade all these picks to take a quarterback you don't love. Duh. You're not, as a regime in year 2, going to say, you know what, we don't really love this quarterback, but we feel like we got to force it. They're not going to do that. Now, you'd be worried about something like that, for example, like last year, when you thought Shane and Dable could, on their last legs, we have to do something. In a situation like that, then you have the fear of the 2 guys in charge, quote unquote, forcing it. But people keep saying that. They're obviously not going to do that. If they don't love the quarterback, they're not going to take him. And they'll be fine running into next season with Jameis or whoever the case may. The one thing I don't want them to do, the Kyler Murray trade proposal, hell no. I'm good on that. But they're obviously not going to trade up to draft a guy they don't love.
Agreed. And look, to me, the Jets, when they made those deals, they basically told the world, we are going to get our quarterback, whether that be a trade for a veteran, which I think is unlikely, unless you're telling me Joe Burrow is going to ask out and actually waive his no trade to be a Jet. Okay, I'll play along with that. But, like, unless it's someone like that, or it's going to be, someone in the draft in all likelihood, the move was made with the intention of getting their quarterback. I believe Woody Johnson allowed that trade of Sauce and Quinnen because they sold him on a plan after the initial plan was to be competitive this year and see what you have in Fields and all that. Once that blew up in their face, starting 0-7, the new plan was clearly, let's hit the reset, let's get a bunch of picks, let's set ourselves up to build up our team where we get the quarterback this offseason, then we show improvement in year 2 as a regime, young quarterback gets playing time, year 3, it all comes together year 2 for that rookie quarterback. I think that's the Jets' new plan. Of course, you don't take a quarterback just to take a quarterback, but I find it hard to believe the Jets, by the time we get to late April, Ty, aren't going to like one of these guys.
Exactly.
The same way Brian Dable fell in love with Jackson Dart and the Giants went up and made that move. Like, to me, the idea that the Jets could afford to wait till 2027, there's so many just faulty issues with that logic. One, there's no guarantee Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are even here. If they finish with 4 wins in year 1, and let's say they win 6 with a bridge quarterback in year 2, that's 10 wins through 2 years. Are we sure Woody Johnson is going to be patient and allow a year 3? And then the other aspect of all this, oh, great, they have 3 wins in 2027. Jake, it's such a better quarterback class that year. Just wait. We said that about this year a year ago. Every year we always say the next year's quarterback class, Ty, is so much better than the previous year. And let's say hypothetically it actually is. Are we sure the Jets are going to be in position, even if they want to move up, to get a quarterback? If they're not in position to draft one, they can. The Giants tried to move up to get Drake May. New England said no. They tried to move up to get Jaden Daniels. Washington wasn't going to make a trade with the Giants in division, and the Giants were at number 6, and they couldn't even move up a couple spots to get a quarterback they wanted. So I don't care how many picks the Jets have in 27. There's no guarantee that they can even get the quarterback they would want at that point. So I think all signs point to the Jets getting their quarterback, either trading up to get it or just sticking and picking where they end up this offseason, because nothing is guaranteed after 2026.
Nothing at all. 800-919-3776. We take a quick break. We get back to your phone calls. I want to talk some Giants as well. Looks like Jackson Dart on his way to coming back under center for the G-Men. Some Giant fans have the ridiculous take that we should shelve him for the season. I'll tell you why that's the wrong one to have. Ty Butler, Jake Asman going until 10 o'clock on this Thanksgiving morning right here on 880 ESPN, ESPN New York, and streaming live on YouTube.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Getting sick always happens at the worst time, the middle of the night, weekends, or right before the holidays. Your doctor's office is closed, and urgent care means long waits and big bills. That's why I keep a medical emergency kit at home. Prescription medications ready when I need them. And right now, during their Black Friday sale, you can get the lowest price of the year. This isn't a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right there in your home. You get essential prescriptions like a generic Z-Pack, plus antibiotics for pneumonia, strep, ear and sinus infections, even meds for nausea and UTIs. Just match your symptoms to the guidebook and make sure to connect with their telemedicine doctor. Take your meds early and feel better faster. Order your kit online in minutes before you need it, and your kit will be shipped right to your door. Don't miss out on the Black Friday savings. Visit urgentcarekit.com/Black Friday. That's urgentcarekit.com/Black Friday. urgentcarekit.com/Black Friday.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour apple 5-hour energy shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With zero sugar and as much caffeine as your favorite 12-ounce coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keep your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at sour apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Hi, it's Chuck Devine in Snow Country. Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select steel tools. Shop online or in-store. The ski season's off to a very good start with multiple snowfalls throughout November at areas like Whiteface in the Adirondacks and Killington, Vermont. Some midweek showers before a cool down throughout Thanksgiving weekend. So we'll ski on firm groomed snow. Start your season with well-tuned, freshly sharpened skis. Whiteface in the Adirondacks, 14 trails, top to bottom skiing and riding for intermediates or better, and the Learning Center opens Saturday. Gore Mountain opens Friday, so does Bel Air in the Catskills and Jiminy in the Berkshires. In Vermont, Killington, 28 trails cover 15 miles. That includes novice skiing on Snowshed at Killington. Stratton opens Wednesday, Smuggler's Notch Friday. They'll ski throughout the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
Yo, Jake, you are a talented individual, my guy.
Well, thank you. I don't know what I did, Ty, but
Well, because not only are you an ass man, but you put us on last segment to something else you're doing in your time when you're away from the station. You be guzzling these glizzies out here on from the street carts. Yo, be careful with that, man. I heard, because you know what always has, since I became an adult, because when I was a kid, I didn't really think about this. So these street cart, vendors, where are they washing their hands after they use the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Be careful out there, bro.
Hand sanitizer, Ty. Come on.
Yeah, but
COVID changed the game.
I don't know if you want someone touching their situation and then only using hand sanitizer before they put the glizzy on the bun, and now that bun and the glizzy's in your mouth.
Look, I'm a proud glizzy gobbler, and I make no bones about it. So it is what it is. It's like, the saying, you don't want to see how the sausage is made. That applies for, I guess you don't want to see how the Sabrett or Nathan's hot dog is prepared on a New York City street cart.
I feel that. Now, and just to keep the conversation going, you do realize that next segment is when we start to go 45 strong. Do you have 45 straight minutes in you?
I'm ready to roll.
No breaks.
I'm locked in. The caffeine is hit. That's the only challenge, by the way, with doing the morning show when you're not used to getting up this early. It's like I got to give myself enough time for the caffeine to hit, which I did, and now that we're about an hour and a half into the show here on Turkey Day, I'm ready to do it. So let's let it rip.
At what point when you wake up, is it like, oh no, I have no interest in doing this today?
Oof. Honestly, every day I wake up, I'm like, oh, I have no interest in this because I'm just not a morning person, and it's tough. The job itself is so much fun. The hours of getting up and then keeping that energy level throughout the rest of the day, that's the challenge. Now, I'm somewhat used to it because I do 8 to noon with Tannenbaum on Sundays, and 8's, that 2 hours from starting at 8 for starting at 6 when we do DNR makes a huge difference. But I don't know if you ever get used to it. I don't know how you are. Are you a morning or a night guy?
No, I'm a morning person.
So you love this. That's perfect.
It's cool because I like to get up and get the workout in before the kids have to get ready for school because I need to be energized. Anyone out there who has kids understands how much of a disaster the whole getting ready situation is in the morning. It's just like chaos all over the place. One boy's crying, the other one's, he's got something going on. They don't want to eat what you prepared for them, even though they just asked for it. The sneakers, they don't like that. Noah, my oldest, is very selective about the outfit. It's just madness. Trying to pack the lunch and the snacks and the goodies. Everything about it is just so chaotic that I need to be fully emotionally and physically prepared to deal with that. So I'm used to waking up early. And today was actually earlier because I had to get the workout in before the show. My alarm went off today at 3:15.
Oh, what time did you go to bed last night?
I was in bed last night because I was watching. Let me figure this out because I was watching Pistons Celtics, great game, into Knicks Hornets. I was in bed, but probably like 8:45, 9, and I fell asleep maybe about 10:15.
Wow, good for you. My problem is when I try to go to bed early, my body just doesn't let me. Like, it has to be at least past midnight for my body to say, okay.
Really? Well, it's because you're not in. You got to get. It has to be a pattern to it.
I'm a guy who stays up late anyway. Like, I'm always up late watching something. I just started watching the show Landman because Michael K swears by it. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. I need a new show.
Wait, who swears by it? Who is that?
Michael K. He was
Michael?
He was at the premiere for season 2. He was talking about it on his show.
Well, we know why you really up late. Let's keep it a stack, man. When you out here doing what you doing, that requires some late hours.
I appreciate that you think that much of me, by the way. I wish I could be like, yeah, he's right, man. I'm tearing up these streets. But the reality is I live a very boring life.
Is that what they say? Tearing up these streets? You out here getting active.
Yes.
What they say is, I'm outside. Are you outside or not?
We outside. Is that still a thing that the people say? The kids?
Like, yo, I'm outside. You outside?
Yeah. We outside.
Be careful,
I feel like
man.
I feel like I'm that meme of like Steve Buscemi. Was it in 30 Rock? He's like, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
You just trying to get in where you get in. 800-919-3776. Yo, get into the YouTube comments. We are active here in the chat. Want to hear from y'all. Just anything, thanks. It doesn't have to be sports related. We can talk about literally anything. It's a holiday show. Ty Butler, Jake Asman having a good time. We're going to hit y'all with the Did It Happen in Florida? Observations coming up. We got to get to the Giants. I want to sneak in a quick comment about them before we hit a break because I teased it last segment. Everything I said about the Jets and how I don't want them to tank and how I think it is counterproductive if you're trying to get a foolproof evaluation of a head coach and a general manager in year one, I think it is just ridiculous to root for that. I feel completely different about the Giants. I also think that the Giants might have 3 more wins in them the rest of the season, which could end up being disastrous. Like the Giants' schedule, for as much as we talked about, remember coming into the year, is the number one toughest in all of football. They've got games against the Commanders, the Vikings, and the Raiders that are all toss-ups, that are all ones that could be won by Jackson Dart by himself. He's been that good. And I think if they do that, it's disastrous. It's disastrous because they already have their quarterback. They are going to be looking for a new head coach. So how does the single most attractive job right now become even more attractive? Well, that's by controlling the draft board. If you end up with the first or the second pick, you can hold court, man. You can say, what y'all want? All right, you want this? This is how many draft picks I got to get from you. But if they win these games, it takes them out of being in that favorable spot. So I think for the Giants, I understand Kafka's auditioning for this job, which I don't actually think he is, because there's no way that they're going to allow him to hold on to this when you could have like these big-time names come free. The Giants winning games the rest of the way, that is a catastrophe, Jake.
Don't disagree with you completely. However, if they are able to win games because Dart's playing well, that's the only acceptable thing to feel good about. Like, if they win games with Jameis, that doesn't do anything for me. Yeah. Like, Mike Kafka's not going to be here. It's going to be a brand new staff. I know he's technically auditioning, but I'd be stunned if he got the job. So, if they're going to win games, it should only be when Dart's playing. And it sounds like Dart will play on Sunday, which is a good sign. Hopefully he can
Monday night.
Right, Monday night. Good point. Monday night against New England. Hopefully he can take care of himself, protect himself. But, to me, if you're going to win the games he plays, it does nothing for me if you win with Jameis playing because, to your point, if the Giants are picking in the top 2, teams want to come up and get a quarterback. All of a sudden, if you're the Giants who has a quarterback, you get a huge haul and really reset your roster. Now, it might be Joe Shane making those picks, which shouldn't inspire you, but I guess the more picks you have, the higher percentage of Joe Shane actually getting it right and not picking a bad player.
Which, by the way, I'm still not 100% sold on Shane being the general manager going forward.
I don't know how you could be. I mean, look, they said he's leading the search. That's fine. They said Trent Baalke was leading the search, too, for Jacksonville last year. And coaches would not take the job unless he wasn't the GM. And that's why Liam Cohen said, I'm not going to Jacksonville unless this guy's not here. Guess what? They wanted Liam Cohen. They fired Trent Baalke. All of a sudden, Liam Cohen took that job. So
yeah, because
I'm
if you're and this is not to say it will happen, but if Tomlin shakes free, because I think Pittsburgh's headed for a free fall with their upcoming schedule. Aaron's hurt. Well, we might be back for the Buffalo game, but the combination of old quarterback, tough schedule, I just think that they are primed for a letdown. If he shakes free, if the Ravens don't hit whatever measurement of success that they have, he could shake free. We're not that far removed from a couple weeks ago. We heard Matt LaFleur, courtesy of The Athletic, he could be fighting for his job. The Packers made that big trade for Micah Parsons, could miss the playoffs. To a lesser extent, a Kevin Stefanski, who's won multiple Coach of the Year awards. So if any of these guys pull up to whoever's running the search, if it's Mara, whoever's running the search and say, I will take this job, I want to pick my general manager, you are not at any point going to say, man, would love to have you, Hall of Famer, but we have to keep Joe Shane. That's not going to happen. 800-919-3776. Quick break. Right back to you. No observations. Did it happen in Florida? We're going to run this thing for about 45 strong. So let's get it popping right here on 880 ESPN, ESPN New York, and, of course, streaming live right here on YouTube.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window & doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Hey, it's Michael K. talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you can trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom designs that let everyone know who you're rooting for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing stacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
ESPN Bet is becoming the score bet this December. The same betting app you love with a new look and promos curated just for you. Existing ESPN Bet customers don't have to change a thing. Your account, wallet, and bets will all remain the same. Plus, kick things off right now by logging in and claiming a 100% profit boost. More action, more rewards, more for you. The score bet coming this December. 21 plus, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Out here, it's football season, where nothing beats backyard grilling, gathering around the fire pit, and cheering on your favorite team with friends. The yard is mowed, the lights are strung, and the grill is warming up. Whether you need to fill up your propane, get a new grill, or even a generator, out here, it's game day. And we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
NBA fans, the race for the Emirates NBA Cup is on.
Let the games begin.
30 teams will start, but only 8 will advance.
Oh, he puts it in!
And only one champion will capture the cup.
Let's go!
To finish first, they'll have to put the pedal to the metal. Who will capture the cup? Well, let's see what happens on the court.
Basketball is back!
Emirates NBA Cup Group Play continues every Friday on Prime.
There we go. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Ty Butler, Jake Asman sitting in for the guys. DiPietro and Rothenberg, 880 ESPN, the ESPN New York app. Streaming live on YouTube. We are dipping into the comments. Yo, so someone just hit us with the stop bringing up Kevin Stefanski. Everyone keeps bringing him up. Last I checked, he's trash. Last I checked, Dable won Coach of the Year, too. Well, Stefanski's done it 2 times over. Stefanski's also gotten to the playoffs with a 4th stringer in Joe Flacco. I don't think he's Tomlin, LaFleur, or Harbaugh. But would he be a massive upgrade? And I got Boombaka just now during the break, Jake. Boombaka, what did you just say about Kafka?
I think he has a legitimate job, a legitimate chance at keeping this job.
Didn't we just do this whole exercise with Ben McAdoo in 2016?
Well, I guess to your point, yes, it'd be similar. I guess the difference in this case would be, so that was Eli Manning at that point, right? Dart being a rookie. You know, the argument that it would be different is for the sake of continuity, you keep the same play caller. I remember if you go back a few years ago, John Mara was defending Daniel Jones, saying we've done everything to really screw him up while all the different change in play callers and schemes and systems he's had to learn. So the argument to keep Kafka would be, well, it's all about developing Dart, and Kafka provides you the opportunity to stay status quo. But there also is a scenario where, say you hired, throw out, a top coaching candidate, right? Mike Tomlin, right? Let's throw him out there. Is there a chance Mike Tomlin would say, let me keep Mike Kafka on as the offensive coordinator? Like, there's also that. Like, when Rex Ryan got the job at the Jets, he retained Brian Schottenheimer, who's coaching today for Dallas. So I don't think Kafka's a legit candidate. I think they would have to win some of these games. And since we've seen Kafka so far in 2 games, well, not necessarily his fault, they've had the lead in the 4th quarter twice, and they haven't won. And now they finally fired Shane Bowen. So unless things drastically change now over the Giants' final games, I just don't see the path for Kafka to get this job full time.
Listen. The Giants have shown us over the last decade they are not even close to that first-class organization priding itself on Super Bowls that we had grown accustomed to watching. Despite that, though, I find it incredibly hard to believe that they are going to retain this guy. Again, they make some dumb decisions, and this is with all due respect to Mike Kafka. I don't actually think he's auditioning for this job. I think he's auditioning maybe for other jobs. I refuse to believe that the Giants, who right now have the most attractive opening in all of football, and maybe that becomes second if McDermott is done in Buffalo, I refuse to believe that they'd go in the direction of just elevating their offensive coordinator, especially when you could have your pick of the litter. This is a critical time in this organization's timeline, and I understand wanting to have continuity, but that's the same decision-making that led you to bringing Dable back, and you just fired him a couple of weeks ago. Go for the best candidate, the best name, someone who comes in here with a resume, who's a CEO, who can control all three phases of the game, who immediately is going to garner the respect of that entire locker room, and is not going to deal with the garbage we've been subjected to. You know, Abdul Carter and what the hell's going on with him, Malik Neighbors and him sending out just ridiculous tweets. We need someone with authority that's going to come in here and clean up this mess, because yes, the most important thing is developing the quarterback, but there are other aspects to this team that needs to be taken care of.
So let me ask you guys this, because as much as Mike Tomlin fits that billing, and Tomlin would be a great coach for the Giants, and he is a great coach, he is under contract, and it's not really that realistic at this moment. So as of right now, who do you think is the best next head coach for the New York Giants?
Well, for me, Ty, I think they need someone that has been a head coach in the league before and has had success. And this is very similar to the conversation I was having a year ago with the Jet coaching search. I don't think these jobs are for first-timers anymore. How many times are the Giants going to try the first-time head coach learning on the job? The Giants also have done the Jet thing where they fire one but not the other. They're retaining the GM and they're firing the coach. The Jets did this where they fired Todd Bowles and kept Mike McCagden. And even longer before that, the Jets fired Mike Tannenbaum and kept Rex Ryan. So, to me, how many times are the Giants going to continue to fire one and not the other? They did this with Reese and Coughlin. They did this, of course, with Gettleman getting rid of Shermer, and then he gets to bring in Judge. It's been, the same thing after another. That all being said, I think the next coach of the Giants should be someone that has been a successful head coach before, and the guy that is out there that I think would stabilize things and also was an offensive guy is Mike McCarthy, who was able, at least in the regular season, 3 of his 5 years in Dallas when Dak was healthy, win 12 or more games. And I get it. They didn't have great playoff success, but if you're the Giants, you can't worry about that. You've had the worst record in football since 2017, worse than the Jets, oh, by the way. So you got to get out of, the health situation that you've been in, and you got to get above ground. And I think McCarthy would stabilize things as a guy that's had success in both his head coaching stops and has won a lot of games.
Yeah, imagine being the Giant fan, worried about a lack of playoff success for a head coach when your franchise has had just 2 playoff appearances since that Super Bowl in 2011. And you've won 1 playoff game since then. So I totally agree with you. I don't know that the Tomlin situation is just, unrealistic. Diana Rossini put out a report the other day. It was either Rossini or Josina. Actually, it was Josina Anderson, where she says, it looks like a head coach and an organization might come to a mutual parting of ways because they feel like the time has come. Now, it's ominous. We don't know who that's about, where that's taking place, but it's out there. So Mike McCarthy, of the guys available right now, would be, to me, someone who I think stabilizes, as you mentioned, this organization. Can we just put an end? I saw Sal Licata yesterday say they got to check in on Bill Belichick. Guys, he's going to be 74. And the last time he was available during a coaching cycle, the NFL told you he was no longer good enough. Can we stop with the Bill Belichick stuff? It's not going to happen. And this is not some ageist comment. It's just you get to a point where you can no longer relate to your players. And that stuff, especially now, is important. And a lot of these guys coming up don't remember prime Belichick. It's similar to like, and this is like a cross-sport analogy. The LeBron MJ argument, who's the best player of all time, is going to start to change because a lot of these kids weighing in on it never saw Jordan. So it's the same thing like when you talk about like head coaches. Yes, Belichick's resume impeccable. He also has ties, strong ties, obviously, to the Giant organization. But when he's 74 and so far removed from having success to the point where the Patriots fired him and no other team wanted him, like we got to punt on that being a realistic option for this football team.
It has never made sense to me, right? I mean, Bill Belichick will be 74 years old in April. Look how Pete Carroll's doing with the Raiders. Oh, by the way, he might be one and done there. Belichick has not done great at North Carolina. You have all the controversy now, the attention that he's brought upon himself with his 24-year-old girlfriend.
Who's about to be in a lawsuit with Pablo Torre.
I'm seeing that on Twitter. It's just,
oh my God.
This is not what the Giants need. And, like, do people forget how it ended in New England for Belichick? Once Brady left, they had the 1 year of success with Mac Jones. Then it all fell apart. And the biggest issue that Belichick had at the end of his time in New England, he was the total football czar of the organization, so he had final say on all personnel. Their rosters were terrible, brutal. And you look at how quickly Mike Vrabel has turned it around immediately. I don't think that's a good look for Belichick either because, Bill Belichick got to pick his quarterback, and he figured it out right away. Mike Vrabel shows up in New England after a year of Gerard Mayo. They added some key pieces in free agency, but it's a lot of the same core that had been there, and he coached them up. He hired Josh McDaniels to be a great OC. I just think everything that's happened post the Brady-Belichick divorce has been terrible for Bill's legacy. He gets rid of Tom Brady, can't make it work with the greatest quarterback of all time over ego. And what does Tom do? He goes down to Tampa and immediately wins the Super Bowl in his first year. Second year, they win 13 games, and they're a play away from getting back to the NFC title game. So I just think everything that's happened with Bill, you talk about Brady versus Bill, and it was a legit debate. I think the way Tom's career went and Bill's career went post-divorce in New England, it's made Bill look terrible. I have no idea why the Giants would be interested in Belichick at this point. I don't think they actually are, so I just don't think it's going to happen.
That's just fodder, but I did want to talk about that. As far as your comment as it pertains to the first-time head coaches, I think your trepidation really isn't about the process. It's about who's doing the processing. In other words, yes, we have examples of first-time head coaches working. DeMeco Ryans, right? Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur. Like, there are a lot of different places around the league where you can find, oh, that's a first-time head coach, and it's working. Liam Cohen, right? Like, we don't love how the quarterback looks in Jacksonville, but what are they, 7-4? On their way to making the playoffs?
Yep, Ben Johnson.
Yep. Ben Johnson, 8-3, right? Still don't know if I love the quarterback, but the team's performing well. We just don't trust the Giants to get this right because they have shown time and time again they can't get it right. So if we can land on a more safe bet, that puts us to where we're like, all right, maybe, just maybe, because you have the quarterback in place, because there's some talent coming back next year on that offense with Neighbors and Scatterable, maybe we overrated how good the defensive line is, but there's still talent on that side of the ball. That team can make it work.
Well, guys, there is a name that we have yet to mention, and he is actually the betting favorite for the job.
Wait, let me try to guess it. Wait,
sure.
Let us try to guess
All
it.
right.
So we haven't mentioned him, but he's the betting favorite?
Yeah.
Is this a college coach?
No.
This is an NFL coach who is not. Is this Sean McDermott?
Incorrect.
Is this coach currently a head coach for a different team right now?
No, he is a coordinator in the NFL.
Is it Cliff Kingsbury?
Incorrect.
Oof.
He's a coordinator in the NFL. DC or OC?
Now, too many hints, guys. All right. Defensive coordinator, LA Rams, Chris Shula is the betting favorite to be the New York Giants' next head coach. That Rams defense has played phenomenal all season long. He's under McVay. Giant fans are kind of hoping that he can maybe poach a couple coaches from that staff out in LA and bring it over here to New York. I mean, I think that he's a great defensive young mind. That Rams schematically, defensively are phenomenal. It's a great hot name. He's a hot coaching candidate right now,
bro.
But
Dog, hang on. It sounds great. This man just said the Rams are great schematically. What the hell does that mean when it comes to trying to fix this organization that for a decade has been a disaster? Give a damn about how great you are schematically. I need you to come in with authority and clean this mess up. It's, again, sounds great in theory. But what does that actually mean? Something. What does that translate to?
Bill Belichick was the greatest head coach in football because he's not even great. What I was hearing is that he's not even great elsewhere, but when it comes down to the X's and O's, that's what makes him great.
Fine, is what I'm saying.
I think Tom Brady made him great.
I need someone who I know can not just be great schematically defensively, but can run a football program in the number one market.
I want a guy that's done it before. That's my point on McCarthy, for example, right? Or if Tomlin would ever potentially be available, if it's gotten stale there, right? I mean, Andy Reid eventually got fired and left Philly, and look what's happened since. So, like, to me, another defensive first-time coach is not what the Giants need. They need to hire someone with previous head coaching experience. It's funny, as Matt was giving us the hint on which coordinator he was talking about, and he said defense. My initial thought was, please don't tell me Robert Saleh is the betting favorite.
Yo,
to be
but he's
going
to get
coach.
a look.
He might. The best thing that happened to Robert Saleh was the Jets fired him at 2-3, and then their season blew up in flames, and people act like Saleh was this marred figure that he was so wronged, and it's like he wasn't a good coach. Now should he have been fired 5 games in? No,
he shouldn't have been fired.
Of course not. But it glosses. It's the best thing to happen to him because it glosses over that he was not actually a good coach. He was a very good defensive coach, but he was not a good head coach.
And what he's doing with the Niners now, with all those injuries on defense,
phenomenal,
is remarkable.
Yeah, he's a great defensive coordinator. The one thing you could say about Saleh, might not have been a good head coach, but at least he was an expert with his side of the ball. The Jet defense has not been anywhere near what they were under Robert Saleh since he was fired.
You're listening to DiPietro and Rothenberg on WHSQ, WCBS-FM, HD2, New York. Ty Butler, Jake Asman, taking you until 10 o'clock. How you feeling so far, Jake? You having fun?
Feeling great, man. It's Turkey Day. I mean, there's just a great day of football, eating. The parade's going to start soon, I believe. So a lot happening, man. I'm excited.
So are you like a big parade guy? Like, is that appointment television for you every single Thanksgiving?
It has never been appointment television for me until you and I have started doing these morning shows together now. So I have it on one of the screens in front of me.
It's like, oh, you're so boring to look at. I need something else to look at.
I like to have things on in front of me. We got SportsCenter on one of the monitors. We got the parade that's going to get started here on the other. I like to see the floats. I'm all about it.
You like to have things on in front of you? That's why they call you the Yes Man?
That is, well, yes. Well, let's go with that.
That's one of the reasons why they call you the Yes Man.
That is correct.
So we're taking you until 10 o'clock. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I promise you the Yankee conversation we will get to. Do
you think Hal could afford a Thanksgiving feast today, or he just doesn't have enough money for that?
You might have to hit that Popeyes turkey, man. and that's no disrespect to Popeyes. I hear they do an excellent job, but my man Hal, crying out poor the other day. That is not something any Yankee fan wants to hear. But what people do want to hear is a segment we like to call DIHIF. Did it happen in Florida? Take it away.
The investigation found he was viewing pornographic material on his personal phone just before the vehicle crash.
Did it happen?
What in your mind makes you think that you should get into the back of a cop car? Because we wanted to ride to the next bar.
In Florida?
Do I look like a taxi? No.
All right, so who's playing point guard on this one today?
You got me, Ty.
We got Matt Pumbaka?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Jacob, is this you just sitting out? You have no interest in participating, or did you just decide he was better at this than you are?
I'm gonna lift up the curtain just a little.
Let's do that.
Because the last time I even was on DNR, probably my first or second year, we're talking like 2020.
Okay.
We're in 2025.
The world was a lot different back in 2020.
Right, Thanksgiving. So even though I'm the senior producer, I am technically running point on the show. I said, Matt, you more recently have been running into DNR. You've been doing the show. I'm gonna allow you to run point. And
allow. So you're better than him.
No, I'm not. I am the retired old dude on his last leg, ready to go, and he is the young up and comer prospect who's about to take my spot.
Listen, Jacob's gonna play the game. He'll answer if it happened in Florida or not.
I don't even.
He's gonna participate.
Yes,
okay.
I don't even have a clue or not if it's in Florida or where or somewhere else. So,
all right,
let's have
man.
fun.
So here's your time to shine, my man. Big opportunity. You know, a ton of executives across the country are tuned into the program. So at any moment, and this is what I've always been taught, be on your A game at every moment, because at any moment, it just takes the right person to hear you, and there you go. So take it away, Boombaka. What you got for us today?
All right, guys, we got a Thanksgiving-themed Did It Happen in Florida? So let's go back. Thanksgiving 2008. They write, I got a call in the morning from my bank that somebody used my credit card for $5,500 worth of car parts. We worked through the process to stop the charge. I calmed down, finished dinner for our 15 guests. During dinner, I noticed that my husband was amazingly crabby and kept giving me the stink eye. I thought he was objecting to the huge crowd in our little house. As it turns out, our sewer line had failed, and he was mopping up sewage in our laundry room while the rest of us were laughing and enjoying our dinner. $10,000 later, the sewer was fixed, and we were looking forward to the crowd again next year. Did this happen in Florida?
Oui. Now, if I were Dave Rothenberg, I would use my Googles to cheat and not let you guys know that I'm actually Googling answers.
Oh, come on.
But because I've got integrity, Dave's my man. He knows I love him. I'm going to say, no, this did not happen in Florida.
I'm going to say it did happen in Florida. It has some of the elements I look for in a Florida story, which is tons of controversy, crazy but not crazy to a point where it just sounds so extreme it's not believable. So my feel is this is something that did occur somewhere in the Sunshine State.
I don't think this is a wild enough story to be a Florida story, so I don't think it happened in Florida.
Jacob's correct.
Oh, well, so is Ty then.
I said
Ty's
no.
correct.
He doesn't want to give me credit?
Not correct. The Asman incorrect. All right.
I'm wrong.
Moving on.
No, you got to tell us where it happened.
Oh, sorry. That story is from Portland, Oregon.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Portland, Oregon. Sewage problems on Thanksgiving.
Rough. A lot of illegal activity happening in Portland, Oregon these past couple months. You got these gambling. I don't know if that actually happened in Portland, but did see Chauncey Billups get arraigned this past week.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
Allegedly. All right, moving on, guys. Police say that a man, this is dating back to 2018 now. A man is accused of stabbing a woman with a fork over a undercooked potato.
Ooh.
All right. This man was arrested and charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. His bond was set for $25,000, and he told investigators that the fork, in quotes, glanced off her head. The police report said that the woman had multiple stab wounds and blood was on her head, but she refused treatment for injuries. So ultimately, I mean, she was all right, but this woman did get stabbed over a undercooked potato with a fork. Did that happen in Florida?
I think Jake goes first on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if this is not Florida, I might have to walk off the show. I mean, come on now. We're talking about a fork incident. That screams Florida, does it not? I mean, or maybe Alabama or Mississippi, but this to me feels like Florida.
Now, I'm going to stand in solidarity with my fellow Jake. I think this is a Florida story. Absolutely has to be a Florida story. Ty, what about you?
It's kind of wild that you can get, no pun intended, that aggravated about an undercooked, will you say potato?
Baked potato, yep.
Baked potato that clearly wasn't baked enough, that you're stabbing the person with a fork. That's so wild. But I am going to go in a different direction and say it did not happen in Florida.
Ty, you are wrong, and Jake and Jacob both correct.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I could have picked a more obvious Florida story.
I heard fork stabbing, and I just wanted to stop you there. I knew.
See what happens when you try to be different. Sad. So that happened in Florida. A fork stabbing. Wow.
I know. Crazy. All right, last one, guys. Here's the story. They write, Thanksgiving. I don't know the year on this one, but I drove my mother to our friend's house for Thanksgiving dinner and nabbed a parking space right in front of their house. Mom handed me a pan with the turkey, gravy, and stuffing, which I placed atop our Volkswagen Beetle while I helped her out. Then I slammed the door, and the vibration caused the pan to slide down the back of the car, and the turkey and gravy spilled out all over the floor. I took my mom's arm, and we turned to walk into the house to see if the front window was packed with horrified faces, and we had ruined Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, no.
Did this happen in Florida? And are you doing a 10-second rule on the turkey?
Oh, that's rough. This did not happen in Florida, but to answer your question, a 10-second rule on... Nah, we're not doing that. Outside on the ground, it's November, so there's probably some... there could be rain, snow. Nah, we're not doing a 10-second rule. But this did not happen in Florida.
I'm going to go with the same answer, Ty. First off, 10-second rule. If we're talking about concrete, we're talking about, you made a great point, November weather, rain, nasty, sleek, wet conditions, no way. It did not happen in Florida. This feels to me like a Midwest type of city. That was the vibe I was getting based on the description of the incident here. So I'm going to say this happened in Michigan. It did not happen in Florida.
I think I have to be the only one that has to say it happened in Florida. I don't know. Part of me just thinks that. Also, no 10-second rule. I would have got my ass beaten just for dropping the turkey and probably never showed up to Thanksgiving. So.
Isn't it the 5-second rule, by the way?
Yeah, 10 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, and it's... Listen, anything longer than 3 seconds, I'm good.
After hearing this story, I don't think I could participate in the Thanksgiving meal if it's being brought to, if the main dish is being transported. That's got to be cooked
fair.
in-house.
That's fair. Isn't it, required, if you are the host of Thanksgiving, the turkey has to be prepared by the host? That's a legitimate question.
I feel the same way about that.
Yeah, is there a rule about that?
I don't think there's a rule about it, but I do agree with the both of you because usually, mac and cheese, yams, usually sides of the things that people bring or wine and things like that, or a dessert. But if you're actively bringing the turkey from somewhere else, and maybe that person just cooks it better. I mean, I think I'm good though. I'm good. If I'm coming to your house and I got to bring my turkey, I might as well stay home and cook my own turkey.
Because in that scenario, let's just say, grandma who's, coming to auntie's house is better at the turkey. She would be preparing the turkey at auntie's house. Right? She'd get there the day before, or something just feels odd about bringing a turkey.
I think the chat makes a great point too.
What's that?
And I think this confirms why I feel like it's Florida. 10-second rule, never heard it anywhere else. Has to be a Florida rule.
Yeah, you said in the hood it's 5 seconds. That's 10-second rule screams Florida.
I also think you got to adjust for the situation, right? Is it an indoor 5 seconds versus like indoor, maybe it's closer to 10 if it's a clean surface. Outdoor, I mean, I wouldn't have any outdoor rule, but let's say it's like 3 or less. Like I think you got to like adjust like the point spread and betting based on home versus road and
there's also
field
an
conditions, weather, all that.
There's also a post-COVID adjustment because we just feel nastier as a society after that whole situation. Someone does chime in that his father-in-law brings famous fried turkey every year, but the fried turkey's not the main. Because I feel maybe I'm wrong, but when I've had gatherings for family gatherings for Thanksgiving, there still was a regular quote unquote regular turkey and a fried turkey. So the fried turkey almost serves as like still an additional side, if that makes sense. I don't know if the main course is being brought by anyone, but I what was my answer? I said this did not happen in Florida.
We got 2 it didn't happen in Florida and 1 it happened in Florida.
And this did not happen in Florida.
Oh.
Bang!
Ty and the Asman both correct. Jacob fell on the sword there. This happened in upstate New York, Belleville, New York.
Wow. So what happens to you, Jake, if you are tasked with bringing the turkey? And I appreciate you guys for did it happen in Florida. And you drop the turkey like right outside. What's the punishment for that?
I think you got to just own it, right? You got to fall on the sword. You got to be accountable. You got to make jokes at your own expense, right? You got to be very self-deprecating about it. And then I think you got to try and come up with some sort of solution. Now, I don't know how many...
Yeah, do you order in at this point?
Yeah.
I almost feel like you're not allowed in the house after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even show up, honestly.
Yeah, like just...
you got to turn around and go home.
But you got to be accountable. You got to show face and at least own your transgression. You can't just not show up after that.
See,
but as an audience, the rule has to be... Because here's the thing, like
go get some Chick-fil-A. Are they open today? Like go counter with something that everyone can enjoy.
That's a pretty egregious mistake to have on Thanksgiving, and if that person is there the rest of the day and night, you're staring at disappointment, and you're just gonna. I don't care what the apology is, what level of accountability, you're gonna be staring at and continuously being angry. So you almost just gotta take the L and say, dogs, I'm sorry, man, you're not allowed to be here. Like, that's it. It's over for you.
Well, the worst would be if it's, not your family, but maybe like, your significant other's family. Maybe you're not married yet. Maybe it's a big first Thanksgiving at the significant other's
But that's their problem.
Family's home.
If it's your first Thanksgiving and you are asking the significant others to bring that, like that, you that's too heavy of a responsibility.
What if they're known for that, though? What if they're like the turkey guy in the family? It's a divorced dad. He's been doing the turkey his whole life. This is his thing, and he's ready to showcase it to the new family.
Nah, and we talked about this last year too. Today's not the day to drop like, yeah, I got this new recipe that I wanted to try. We're not doing that on Thanksgiving Day. Let's just go, like we talked about with the Giant head coaching search, let's just go to known commodities. Let's go to people we feel comfortable having done this before.
Play the hits, I would say.
Yeah, play the hits. Let's
like in
not
radio.
switch up.
Play the hits. You got to reset the main topics that people want to hear about. Don't try anything different on Turkey Day. Go in with the approach. This is how we're going to do it. This is what works. This is the game plan. And we're not going to switch it up just because, we might have more time to prepare because it's a magnified day. No, go in with what got you here.
Let's not do that. I also have to mention, because earlier today, if you want to remind people, what are your plans for Thanksgiving, Jake? What do you got cooking today? No problem.
I will be, I'll be on Long Island, and I will be at my aunt and uncle's house with some members of the family.
Shout out to all the parents out there. Listen closely. Who allow their kids to go to school sick. Who allow their kids who are contaminated, who have contagious illnesses, sicknesses, diseases, to still go to school. I understand it's difficult because you've got to go to work, babysitter, but you should not be putting your kids, one, in harm's way, and two, allowing them to affect other children, especially in today's day and age. The reason why I bring that up is because my kids today are sick. Why are they sick, you ask? Interesting question. Well, because last week, their school was exposed to hand, foot, and mouth disease. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Which Met player got that a couple of years ago?
Oh, yeah. It was,
was it Noah Syndergaard? Was that him who got that?
Someone on the Mets had hand, foot, and mouth disease. And that's why I'm like, why do I remember this so much? Yeah, hand, foot, and mouth disease. There's actually a medical term for is it Kawasaki? What is it?
That sounds right. Yeah.
But anyway, so I learned last week that in my youngest son's class, he's in 3K Maverick, there were kids who had hand, foot, and mouth disease just in the class, like nothing had happened. And parents knew about it. And there's a telltale sign, not just coughing, sneezing, fever. You get these little blisters on your hand. And they just allow their kids to be in the classroom. So my kid gets exposed, and then he shows up a couple days later when I pick him up from school. I'm like, what is that on your hand? I pick up his hand, he's got blisters on his hand. I said, oh no. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? So my wife and I was so angry. Now and this is tough to do, but we're trying to isolate him from my oldest Noah, who's 4 years old, and had not, shown any signs, any symptoms. So we try to isolate him. Wouldn't you know, a couple hours later, we're looking at his hand. All of a sudden, he has a couple blisters on his hand. So all of that has led to a Thanksgiving where instead of going to be around family and bask in their presence, it's like one of the days on the calendar where you just circle every year because everyone has a lot of their things going on. You got kids, you got jobs, people live all over the place. It's the one day you can circle on the calendar where you can be around your entire family. But because my kids picked up on the hand, foot, and mouth disease from these nasty-ass parents who allow their kids to go to school with the hand, foot, and mouth disease, we got to stay isolated today, and we don't get to enjoy the presence of the big family out in Brooklyn.
That's brutal.
So I'm annoyed by that. I'm annoyed by that. Now, you try to find, I woke up today and I said, you know what? I don't want to be miserable. You can encourage yourself. You can choose to be positive. So, not to be corny, but look, I'm thankful that my kid, they're not struggling from it. There's no fever. They're fine. They just, have these blisters on their hands where they can't be around people. So I'm just happy and thankful that I get to be around them today. I'm also, and this is pretty cool, Jake, because where the festivities are being had at my grandmother's house, it's only 15 minutes away. I get to go over there for about an hour, hang with the fam, and then, pack up some food and bring it back to the crib because it's close by. So we're still going to have food. It's just not going to be the same because we're not going to be able to be around everyone. And I was really looking forward to that.
I like the positive spin. What you could do is try and, make it such a memorable Thanksgiving that your kids will grow up and think back to, remember that time we were sick, but our dad came through and still, hung out with us all day, and we still had great food, and we watched football together. You could still make it like a memory for them that years from now they remember this Thanksgiving as something that could have been bad because of what they were going through, but you made it special for them as their dad.
See, that's why I woke up this morning, positive attitude, put the cape on, and here's another thing. My wife's a teacher, so she is, when it comes to, the creativity of it all, she's got that thing just on 100. So she said yesterday, and I'm like, yo, that sounds pretty nerdy. She was like, we'll have some Thanksgiving activities for you guys. So she's going to go on her laptop and have these printouts and do these Thanksgiving things. I'm like, you're such a nerd. But yeah, it'll be something that they have fun with because, they're in school, obviously. Noah's now going through this thing where he's obsessed with writing his name because he learned how to write his name. So we'll have that going on. Football, I'll be able to grab food. And then we'll be able to talk about it tomorrow. I'll be hanging out with Bart Scott from 2 to 10, or 2 to 10, from 10 to 1.
They got you guys to do that. They got Bart on a holiday to work. What is that? An 8-hour show?
from 10 to 1. And we are coming on after you tomorrow. You'll be flying solo from 6 to 10. But yeah, I had to get that off my chest. Yo, parents, be better, man. That's just, come on, y'all. Be better. 800-919-3776. We'll get to you guys in the chat as well. Want to talk some Yankees coming up here. Jets, Giants still on the board. We also have, because I hit you guys with this morning, got to have a survivor pick. Let's just have our own fun Thanksgiving Day. Take your one survivor pick. So we'll, have some fun with that coming up. And as I said, hit us up in the YouTube chat and at 800-919-3776. Ty Butler, Jake Asman, going till 10 o'clock this morning right here on 880 ESPN, ESPN New York. And we're live on YouTube.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Now it's time for traffic with Jeff Fromm.
Well, traffic's in pretty good shape here for Thursday morning. Obviously, many folks staying home on Thanksgiving, so congestion much lighter than normal and not a whole lot of construction out there across the Hudson. We're in good shape top to bottom. Closures in Midtown, though, as we set up for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In fact, it's getting underway now, and it goes down Central Park West to 6th Ave. So, again, you've got closures from the 80s all the way down to the 30s. 34th Street also shut. Parts of Broadway shut down this morning. So if you're in a car, definitely a spot to avoid. And over in New Jersey, you've got a turnpike crash southbound truck lanes after exit number 11 in Woodbridge. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline. It's 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Jeff Fromm on 880 ESPN New York.
Hey, it's Michael Kay talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you could trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM834925. MSRP $27,055. Zero security deposit. Ends 12/1/25.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
What you're saying really isn't that your issue's with Hal, is you don't like the way he runs his business. He spends enough. The problem is, of course, the guy making the decisions. So you can't tell me you're frustrated with the product because it doesn't win. What you're frustrated with is that you don't feel like the guy who is in charge of baseball operations is good enough at his job to build a championship team without overspending.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Weekdays at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
All right, so the typical question, Jake, would be, what do you want on the plate today? What's a must-have? I actually want to go the other way. Can I give you what can't at all be anywhere close to being on my plate today that's a popular item?
Please do. Before you do, though, Ty, I do have some breaking news for you.
Oh, really?
My uncle is listening. And he heard about you describe the situation with your kids dealing with the coxsackie.
Yeah.
He texted me. He goes, invite Ty over. We will put gloves on the kids' hands. So you are welcome at the Evan and Jill Wagner estate, my aunt and my uncle's house, for Turkey Day with your entire family if you want to make the trek out to Long Island.
With gloves on?
That's right. They'll take good care of your children.
Well, I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to your uncle. I love that. And hopefully you guys are entertained by the football today. Make sure my man Steve is not going in and out of consciousness too quickly.
Get ready for the snores, man. Oh, they're going to be loud today.
But I appreciate that, man. Love from your uncle. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the Asman family. Potato salad. Come nowhere near my plate.
Really?
And I understand it's a popular item. Nothing about it looks or sounds appetizing. I just see a bunch of mayonnaise. And not like I'm anti-mayonnaise, but mayonnaise with noodles, it's not appetizing to me at all. I'm good on that. I'm good on the potato salad.
Wow, this surprises me. I actually don't mind potato salad. I enjoy it. I don't know if we'll have it at Thanksgiving later today, but I've been a potato salad fan. I'm not a coleslaw guy. Like, I love the substitute coleslaw for either extra fries or something else that's available at the establishment I'm at, but I've always been a potato salad advocate. I'm not anti-potato salad.
It tracks because you are a salad tosser, given your moniker, Asman.
Excuse me?
So it tracks. It tracks.
I don't know if I want to touch this on Thanksgiving.
I mean, no pun intended. So how about you? What? Because you said turkey, but is there a popular food item that people would otherwise have? You just decided, I'm good.
I've never been a stuffing guy, but as I said earlier, for those tuning in, I will give it another shot today, and I'll see if my opinion on it has changed. It has never really appealed to me. That has never appealed to me. I'm hit or miss with like pumpkin soup as well. I know some people seem to like that pumpkin pie, but I'd rather pumpkin pie than pumpkin soup if I'm going to have to do some sort of pumpkin-related item at Thanksgiving.
See, I'm not really a dessert person. People are chiming in. Shout out Josh. He says pernil, fried turkey, rice, beans, stuffing, veggies, pastelitos, the empanadas, man. You ever had an empanada? I'm sure you have.
I have, yeah. And I've had probably like the best place to have empanadas living in Houston. Well, besides, Mexico, of course, but big fan.
Empanadas. Yo, so this past week before our, health crisis where kids started showing up with blisters on their hands, my oldest son's teacher actually did something pretty cool where she invited parents in to have like a little Thanksgiving with the students. We all brought dishes, and one of the parents brought in empanadas it was like ground beef and cheese. It was awesome. I was that person. And I'll blame my wife for this because I didn't realize that this was happening until the day. But everyone's got rice and empanadas. And, I brought in Dunkin' Donuts munchkins.
Oh.
I was that guy. They always make fun of the people that bring the plates, the forks, and the spoons and napkins. I guess the food dessert version of that is just stopping by Dunkin' Donuts and bringing munchkins. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah, but you know what? Those were probably a huge hit.
It was a hit.
Who doesn't like Munchkins? And the problem with Munchkins is, I mean, I could the full box you probably brought in. If it was up to me, I could probably put that down in one sitting. I have no self-control.
Yeah, it was like 25 of them bad boys in there. And it's not about the quality of it. It's a hit. It's just effort matters. Like the woman who made empanadas, you know that took a while to make. The rice takes a long time. All the other dishes that were there. And I just showed up with just Munchkins. It was just embarrassing, man.
I respect it because you know what? At the end of the day, you didn't try to pretend to be something you're not. You said, I know this will play. Everyone's going to like it. People will enjoy it. And if anyone's judging you for that, shame on them. Because at the end of the day, did people enjoy the Munchkins? I'd imagine they did. And that was what the goal was the entire time.
And I told Cassie, I'm like, why would you put me in this situation? I said, like, you should have cooked something. She said, well, you should have cooked something. I said, well, you're the cook in the house. Like, I'll make food, but if it comes, when it comes down to we're now putting this out for an audience that's not an audience of 4, the people in my house, I don't feel comfortable like that. And
the lights were too bright for you? The stage was too big for you to cook?
Stage was too big. 800-919-3776. People love the empanada talk in the chat. At Jake Asman, at Ty D. Butler. Hit us up. We're live on YouTube. Let's talk about the Yankees, man. Hal Steinbrenner. Did you guys send me slugs for the Hal cuts, or are we just throw into this? Because I got to know how to set it up.
We do have some Hal here.
We do have some Hal. Oh, so this might be in the text I received. All right, so Hal meets with the media, and one of the questions posed to him was, and this was so funny. Let's first start with, do you have a payroll range every year? Here's Hal Steinbrenner.
I didn't say every year we do a range, but some years going into the winter meetings, we do talk about a range, but that range has rarely come true, as I found, for all the reasons I already talked about. He's going to bring me anything and everything. And, he and his people have to work harder because that's the way I want it, but that's the way I want it. So we will see what happens and what presents itself trade-wise and free agent-wise.
Hal Steinbrenner asked if he makes a profit.
I'm assuming you make a profit. Is that fair as well?
No, it's not fair, actually. So
you take a loss?
Don't want to get into it, but that's not a fair statement or an accurate statement. Everybody wants to talk about revenues. They need to talk about our expenses, including the $100 million expense to the city of New York that we have to pay every February 1st, including the COVID year. So it all starts to add up in a hurry. Nobody spends more money, I don't believe, on player development, scouting, performance science. So these all start to add up, John. And if you want to go look at the revenues, you got to somehow try to figure out the expense side as well. You might be surprised.
So it's such a ridiculous thing to say because it's the inviting of unnecessary criticism. The Yankees right now, according to Forbes, are valued at $7.55 billion, only behind the Rams, the Patriots, and the Cowboys. They obviously are one of the elite organizations ever. They print money. We know all that. But if you want to get into like the semantics of, is it fair to say you make profit every year? No, it's not fair, because what you really reveal in that answer when he says, are you taking a loss? And you say, we don't have to get into it. You're saying, no, you're not taking a loss. But the point of the matter is, for Hal, I just don't understand saying things like this, knowing that there is no upside to it, especially when this is essentially a conduit, you talking to your fans. Like, what's the point of making a comment like that? And look, he's asked about it, but there has to be a way that's not as messy in order for you to address the question being asked to you.
I mean, this to me was just such a joke of an entire press conference. Like, this part bothered me. Like trying to act like they don't make a lot of money was silly. I mean, just why even go there? The part where he was basically saying that he feels bad for the small market teams. Really? That's not your job to feel bad. Last I checked, the commissioner of Major League Baseball is Rob Manfred, not Hal Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner should be concerned about one team, the New York Yankees, the team that has not won a championship, even though their motto is championship or bust, since 2009. That's what he should be focused on. And then the other thing that really annoyed me here in this exchange with the media was when he was talking about how, the mental mistakes have bothered him and the summer swoon that the Yankees have had the last couple of years has bothered him. But then when it comes down to it, he defends Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. So he's upset with the mental mistakes. He's upset with the summer swoon. He won't stand for it. He's saying, hey, we spend the most money in player development. We do this, that, all this in our team. Yet it's still status quo with the same people that have been here for years despite not winning a championship. Like the idea that the owner of the team could be so upset with the mental mistakes the team is making, but then the manager who has not come close to winning a championship outside of the 2024 season where they had a cakewalk to the World Series and then got embarrassed in 5 games to the Dodgers. Other than that, since Girardi left, they haven't been close. And since 2009, they only have that one appearance. Yet the same people in charge in the front office and the manager have remained in place. Like, how does that jive? How does that make any sense?
That's the problem. You want to purport yourself as an owner who is going to hold people accountable, and yet your actions don't dictate that those people who are responsible for these failures are being held accountable. And the one thing that like really annoys me is when people talk about Yankee fans and they speak on the privilege and the elitism, like some of that stuff is very true. I won't deny it. But when it then gets phrased as, Yankee fans are just mad their team doesn't win a championship every year. No, that's not why Yankee fans are mad. Yankee fans are mad because it's been 15 years since they won a championship, and you can say, wow, I'm a Met fan. It's been 4 years. Yankee fans and Met fans are running different races. We know that, and that's not me taking a shot at the Met fans. That's just the reality of it all. 15 years, now going on 16 without winning a championship, and when this current iteration, this current regime has failed to produce the results, something's got to happen. You can't keep telling me that, Brian Cashman is the best guy for the job when he hasn't proven since 2009 to be able to field a championship team. Aaron Boone hasn't been able to do it. So something's gotta give here. And I think we care less about how much money Hal is spending, because typically he's top 3 in payroll every year, and more about how the money is being spent, which falls directly on the general manager. And look, for Hal, I think that because of how the fans feel about him, there was really no way for him to quote-unquote win the press conference. Like, what was he going to say that fans were just going to get behind and rally around? But you can lose it, and he lost it by saying these ridiculous things.
Completely agree. And again, to me, it's not that he doesn't spend enough money. It's how they spend the money, and the person ultimately in charge of spending said money in Brian Cashman seemingly gets a pass, because I have felt for years, Ty, that Hal looks at the Yankee season, whether or not it's a successful year or not, on did they make the playoffs or not. I think that is the baseline. Like, the only way for major changes to happen would be for multiple years in a row where the Yankees don't make the playoffs, or 2 out of 3 years where they didn't make the playoffs. Because if you think about it, the Yankees don't act like it's championship or bust. They're one of the best teams. They've never been the best team in the American League or Major League Baseball. And I think Brian Cashman, whether he used the word crapshoot or random, it doesn't matter, because the point is the same, that he has seemingly convinced Hal Steinbrenner that, hey, as long as we make the playoffs, eventually we're going to break through. We knock on the door long enough, eventually we'll knock down that door. MLB playoffs are unpredictable. It's a crapshoot. Once you get in, anything can happen. And that to me is so silly, because the Astros were in 4 World Series over 7 years, 7 straight ALCSs. You've seen the Red Sox win how many titles now since the Yankees have won their last title? Go back to 2004 and count the total championships between those teams. The Dodgers, during their current run they're on, where they won back-to-back titles. But how about the fact that during this run in totality, they were in the World Series in 17, 18. They won it in 2020. They won it now the last 2 years. Like, the Yankees, beyond not winning a championship since 2009, I think the fact that they only have one appearance in the World Series is a major red flag. If you want to say it's a crapshoot to get to the World Series and win once you're there, I'll listen to that argument. But they have only one appearance in the World Series, and it's because they got to play the 2 teams in the American League Central that year to get there. So to me, it's just a flawed premise that it feels like Hal has accepted, as long as we're selling sponsorships, the building's full, we're winning our 90-something games and making the playoffs, whatever happens after that, we'll deal with the consequences. Because if that wasn't the case, how would the current power structure for the Yankees remain in place for as long as they've been in place without winning a title since 2009.
It also creates like this toxic ecosystem amongst the Yankee fan base where they now feel like they have to root against it, in some instances, against the team making the playoffs, because they are motivated by the idea of significant changes, and the significant changes are only going to happen if they completely miss it. So there were some Yankee fans that are like, yo, I'd rather us miss the playoffs. Like, would you rather make the playoffs, get bounced in a division series, or miss the playoffs completely? A lot of people, the answer should be make the playoffs, because there is still like prestige and an accomplishment in doing that. But for Yankee fans who are so sick of this regime, they're like, yo, sign me up for missing the playoffs. And to the point of randomness and crapshoot, I always found it silly when there is like empirical evidence to suggest otherwise. The Kansas City Royals, back-to-back years, were in the World Series. They lost that first year to the Giants. They came back next year, won it. The Cubs, one of the best teams in baseball in 2016, won it all. The Astros, you can say they're cheating, but the Dodgers were one of the best teams. They at least got to the World Series. The Red Sox won 108 games in 2018, won it all. There are some outliers, like the Nationals, the Braves you can throw in. But you mentioned the Dodgers. That's a dynasty right now. They were the best team in 2020, won it. The Rangers, again, an outlier, but the Dodgers, this past year, best team in baseball, won it. So are there aberrations certain years? Sure. Like people in the NBA or people who watch the NBA complain about the lack of parity. There are some aberrations where Miami goes on a run, gets to the finals, and wins it all. Like we've seen that Indiana comes out of nowhere. But for the most part, the best teams are going to win the championship. And for the Yankees, you haven't been the best team. And that should be a problem. Like it feels like Hal Steinbrenner cares more about defending Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman than he does about actually winning.
They want to win, but they don't want to win a championship. They want to win enough games where they have a chance to get into the playoffs every year, and that has now been defined as successful. We build a team that can get into the playoffs. We've done our job. We'll roll the dice from there. And that, to me, is such a backwards approach for a franchise that used to be what the Dodgers now are. Like that, the Dodgers have now become what the Yankees used to be. And for the owner of the team to even say publicly or imply publicly that, oh, we're not actually making as much money as you think, is just such a bad, even if maybe that is true, which I don't think it is, you can't say that publicly beyond everything you and I were just discussing, Ty, on just the idea that the owner of the team is coming out and he's saying he doesn't want this to be the case, the mental mistakes, the summer swoons, but he's not going to levy any criticism at the people he's employed. In the case of Cashman, since Hal's been the full-time owner of the team, and Boone's been here since the 2018 season. We are almost at 10 years of Aaron Boone, and they have not won a championship. And let's be real, the only time they came close, they ultimately had an easy path to get to the World Series, and then got embarrassed in 5 games when they got there.
Absolutely. 800-919-3776, man. These phone lines are lit. So let's take a break and get back to you guys. Stay there. Ty Butler, Jake Asman, we are going until 10 o'clock today. Having some fun with you. Baseball, football, basketball, food, everything's on the table as we march till 10 a.m. right here on 880 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Bet365 is paying. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
The fall savings event continues this November at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $169 per month, or the 2025 Mazda CX-5 Select for as low as $229 per month, and get as low as 0.9% APR financing rates on select models. Plus, enjoy 1 year complimentary of Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
The following is a paid advertisement for the Wellness Company.
Hey there, it's Michelle Smallman from Unsportsmanlike. I'm thrilled to be joined by Dr. Drew from the Wellness Company. And Dr. Drew, you have something very exciting to talk about today, the medical emergency kit. Tell us a little bit about this.
It is exciting. Look, I have been fighting to try to protect the patient-physician relationship my entire career, and we have lost. I finally decided I need to be involved with people that put the power back in the patient directly. These emergency kits give you everything you need so you don't have to spend $1,200 going to an emergency room. We have a significant medical team, the medical board at TWC, and we just sat down and put together what we would want for our family, for our patients.
Oh my gosh, so anything that anyone could need is in this.
Yeah, and there's a guidebook here to tell you exactly how to use it, and again, telehealth backup.
It's remarkable. It's innovative. Everyone needs to get one. UrgentCareKit.com/sports, promo code sports to get $50 off your kit. That's UrgentCareKit.com/sports, promo code sports.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Hockey fans and holiday shoppers, check out Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg December 2nd live from the NHL shop in Manhattan West Plaza, a block from the Garden. They'll be talking all things NHL.
It's hockey, man.
And they'll be joined on site by hockey legend Mark Messier. It's all powered by Game 7 apparel and headwear as they launch their new assortment in the NHL shop. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg December 2nd live from the NHL shop.
So some dude just hit me. We'll get to the phone calls in a moment. 800-919-3776. Ken Grubb says, I make a smoked prime rib every year instead. It's time for y'all to level up. Turkey. Leave it amongst the living. Dry-ass bird. How about that?
I like it. We do steak at my Thanksgiving every year, so I'm with it. Turkey's overrated. The Pilgrims knew any better. They would have went with steak as well. They just didn't know at the time.
Like that. He said level up. Call to action. So we're talking Yankees. Let's just stop being or allowing people to gaslight us into thinking, you know what, you're actually ungrateful because you make the playoffs every year, except they don't, make the playoffs every single year. 2020, literally just, 3 years ago they missed the playoffs. But Yankee fans want to talk, so let's get to it. 800-919-3776. Let's go to Bobby, who's in Vermont. What you got for us, Bobby?
Bob.
Hey, Jake. How you doing, Jake?
What's up, Bobby? Happy Thanksgiving.
Butler. I heard you were on with Jake today. Isn't Jake a great guy?
He's an awesome guy. All he needs is some pernil, and he'll be a cultured awesome guy.
I think he should have his own show on ESPN. That's my shot.
He should.
So I think the Yankees should get rid of Aaron Boone as soon as possible because he stinks as a manager. I think so. Possibly. Because, during the playoffs, he took out a couple of pitches that should have stayed in the game against the Dodgers. Remember that?
Oh, how could we forget it? Here's the thing, Bobby. I appreciate the call. It's so funny, Jake. So the other day, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, when Aaron Boone went on Talking Yanks, and he said that the Yankees are the least analytically driven team in the American League East, and somehow he thought that was helping his cause, because yes, there are a lot of people who are anti-analytics, and just the thought of it just angers them. But when you tell me you're not all that analytical, it then reifies for me. Oh, so it was your decision to bring Nestor Cortez to face Freddie Freeman in Game 1 of the World Series with that on the line. That cost them a World Series. So actually, it worked. It helps you if we know that decision was analytically based, or it was organizational. That actually helps your cause. If you're telling me that was just let me go do that, let me go make that decision, boom, my guy, that's a huge L.
It's like a game of semantics too. Oh, we're only analytical when it's like convenient for us to be analytical, and we get to go by feel and gut when it works for us. The bottom line is, whether they use analytics or not is not the issue. The issue is the results, and they have not won a championship since 2009, and it's an organization that, again, tries to pride itself on championship or bust. But the Yankees are never the best team. They're one of the better teams, right? But when was the last time the Yankees were clearly the best team in baseball, like they were in 2009 when they won the championship, right? Like it hasn't happened. And if you look at Aaron Boone since he's been the Yankee manager, when the Yankees play a team that they are not favored against in the playoffs, they've never won. And that remained the case again this year when they lost to the Toronto Blue Jays. Like the only time the Yankees have advanced in the postseason is when they have played a team that is inferior to them, right? And like outside of the Red Sox, who are not, this great team this year, it was kind of like a transition year for them. They get into the playoffs on, the benefit of the 3 wild cards, whatever. You look at like how the Yankees' playoff defeats have happened. It's been to better teams, or when they have won playoff series, it's been against the American League Central, right? Yeah. Like that's really been it.
So I think this was the first year under Boone they had won a series against a non-American League Central team. I think so.
Well, the only you probably won't even remember this because it's so insignificant. The only time under Boone until this year, right when they beat Boston, they won a playoff series against a non-American League Central team was the Oakland A's in the 2018 one-game wild card. The Oakland A's.
Yeah, that was such a long time ago.
Think about that. Like, that's it. Other than that, they don't play the Guardians, or they don't play the Twins, or they don't play
but you said wild card game. I was strictly saying series, and I guess that
technically counts, yeah.
Yeah, that technically counts, right? Like, so a series, this was the first time they had won a series, not a game, in the playoffs against a non-American League Central team, which is just infuriating. I lost my call screener.
I got it up.
All right, so just go to someone who wants to talk Yankees.
Let's see who we have here. We got some people who want to talk Jets, but we do also have some Yankee folks like Subi in Midtown who wants in on the Yankee conversation. Subi, you're on DiPietro and Rothenberg with Jake Asman and Ty Butler. What's up, Subi?
Yeah, I'm grateful for you guys for being on the radio today. I'm at work. I'm going to be leaving early, but from the Yankees' perspective, this situation where we're bringing back players that we had bad taste in our mouth about, like Carlos Rodon, who's going to be the number 2 pitcher, and he can win 15 games a year, but then when the playoffs come, it's going to be a stink show. I know what his stuff is. It's on and off, and it's not dominating. Why can't we make maneuvers? His contract, I think, would not be movable this year. I don't know about next year or even what I'm trying to say is I don't want to see the same faces every year.
Well, he's not your number 2 starter. He's number 3. You got Fried, and you also obviously have Garrett Cole coming back.
What's your opinion about the players who have sort of not produced in clutch situations, whereas we saw the Blue Jays producing in clutch situations? Is that a mentality thing? Is that something 2 or 3 years of the same players not producing? It leaves a bad taste in the true Yankees fans. The tourists who visit Yankee Stadium is different, but the true Yankee fans know, and those are the ones who are booing them, whether it be the regular season or the postseason.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Subi. It starts to feel in a weird way. I know we overuse this word like it's a culture thing, where regardless of who they bring in, like these guys just can't hit situationally. It could also be an approach, right? Like, when you have a boom or bust offense, guys who are not able to just simply, get a single or a double, then that becomes an issue when you're going up against the most elite pitchers in the sport come October. And look, the best teams as people keep pointing out, in the playoffs are the ones that hit home runs. But there needs to be some nuance to your offense, and the Yankees just haven't been able to get that going the last couple of years.
There's no balance, and home runs win in the playoffs. We still see that to be the case, but the strikeouts, like the analytics people that say strikeouts don't matter, just have no feel for how playoff baseball is ultimately won. You got to be able to foul off pitches, put the ball in play, and create magic on the base pass by just putting pressure on the defense. I mean, it's just the idea that strikeouts don't matter or having a two-strike approach is not valuable. I mean, you're not paying attention to how some of these teams have won. Like Toronto was a team that didn't have to smash the baseball over the yard to get all the way to Game 7 against the World Series. They were a well-constructed, balanced team that had some power in it, sure, but they grinded out at bats. They made pitchers work. The Dodgers, they got a ton of star power, but they also have grinders who could put the ball in play. That's one of the reasons why I think re-signing Cody Bellinger is such a must for the Yankees. That's one of the few guys in this lineup that really had a true two-strike approach, obviously was clutch and could play multiple positions. Like, the guy's a winning baseball player. I feel like the Yankees have too much of the same thing in their recent history of these playoff exits where, if they don't get the home run, they're not winning. And while the home run's important, you also, I think, need to have more balance in your lineup. And I think Cody Bellinger being back is a big part of trying to maintain some of that balance going forward.
Well, we are 3 hours down, heading into hour number 4. So quick break. I think baseball has a problem, and I've been talking about it for years. But it's something that's kind of rearing its ugly head again that I want to talk about. We got to get back to the football conversation. Some great games the next couple of days. And, mention the Knicks as well after their win last night. So we take a break. We come back. Ty Butler, Jake Asman filling in for DiPietro and Rothenberg. Streaming live on YouTube and hanging with y'all on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Hi, I'm Greg Richard from PC Richard & Son, wishing you a happy and healthy Thanksgiving Day. We're closed on Thanksgiving, so enjoy the day with your friends and family. Come to PC Richard & Son and keep it local. See you Friday.
Hi, it's Chuck Devine in Snow Country. Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select steel tools. Shop online or in-store. The ski season's off to a very good start with multiple snowfalls throughout November at areas like Whiteface in the Adirondacks and Killington, Vermont. Some midweek showers before a cool down throughout Thanksgiving weekend. So we'll ski on firm groomed snow. Start your season with well-tuned, freshly sharpened skis. Whiteface in the Adirondacks, 14 trails, top to bottom skiing and riding for intermediates or better, and the Learning Center opens Saturday. Gore Mountain opens Friday, so does Bel Air in the Catskills and Jiminy in the Berkshires. In Vermont, Killington, 28 trails cover 15 miles. That includes novice skiing on Snowshed at Killington. Stratton opens Wednesday, Smuggler's Notch Friday. They'll ski throughout the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 Hybrid Preferred or lease for $279 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Then SN128251. MSRP $36,570. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per 1,000 financed and 12,125.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Happy Thanksgiving. Ty Butler, Jake Asman, filling in for the guys. Hope you are having a wonderful morning. Cheers to a prosperous weekend. We focus a lot on the football, obviously, but getting a chance to spend time with family if you so choose, to be around some loved ones, and to bask in the joy and the pleasure that is this blessing we call life. It's a good thing. So happy Thanksgiving to you, Jake. Happy to be doing the show with you, man. It's been fun so far.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ty. By the way, what is your go-to side if you can only have one? Or even better, I'm going to ask you for this. What is the first full plate that you're packing with, all right? You're going to get up, put food on the plate. What is going to be on that initial first plate today?
So we're definitely getting the sliced ham. Like a little fat on the sliced ham. All right. Sliced ham, baked mac. Got to throw some veggies on there, so let's get the collard greens popping. Stuffing, and we may go with a drumstick chicken wing, fried chicken wing. So drumstick chicken wing, fried ham, stuffing, collard greens, and mac and cheese.
Strong. Love the mac and cheese. If I can only choose one side, I'm living and dying with the mac and cheese.
That baked mac and cheese is no joke, man.
Got to be careful, though. It could fill you up if you have too much of it. You got to save room for the other stuff.
Family Wars was fought over that mac and cheese. I'll tell you that much. Baked mac and cheese, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta know how to make it though. You gotta have the right people making the baked mac. Do you throw some breadcrumbs? I was asked this question. I forget who asked it. Oh, someone asked this question to me. Do you guys throw breadcrumbs on your baked mac and cheese?
My cousin does.
Listen, and I'm sure your cousin is a nice guy. If he's throwing breadcrumbs on mac and cheese, it's not good.
Wow, he's questioning the mac and cheese because of the breadcrumbs.
I like it. I like this. I like this type of talk.
It's a top kind of crust. Yeah, it's a little crust on the top there. It's not overboard, and it kind of makes a nice little touch.
I like it. How about you, Jake?
I don't actually remember if we do or not. I don't think so because I feel like I would know right away, right? That's something that you wouldn't forget. Might have to try that one as well. I'm open to ideas. I won't food shame on Thanksgiving unless you're telling me that turkey is somehow better than steak, which is not. But you guys aren't doing that, so I think we're all
hit
good.
us with some ideas if you're live in our YouTube chat. 800-919-3776. Having a fun time on this Thanksgiving morning. Saw my kids who woke up not too long ago.
How are the blisters?
See, I didn't check, but they're improving, man. They're getting better. Every time I look at them, it is a reminder that these parents who sent their kids to school with hand, foot, and mouth disease just robbed me of what I was supposed to do for my holiday. But I'm trying to be positive, as I told you.
And it's just on their hands, correct?
The hands and the feet. And
too.
sometimes you get sores in your mouth.
Now, I threw it in ChatGPT just to get like the full main symptom list. It also says sometimes on the buttocks, and my last name is Asman, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, have the blisters appeared there?
Any blisters on the ass? No. No blisters on the booty.
All right.
No.
Well, consider yourself blessed.
No blisters on the booty, but they're dealing with that, and they're taking it in stride. They haven't been, feisty or, sometimes you get lethargic or you're dealing with the fever. They're not doing any of that. So I'm thankful that despite having some blisters they got to deal with, and us not being able to go chill with the entirety of our family, they're feeling pretty good. So you asked me about my plate. Would be remiss if I didn't get yours.
Oh, well, we're definitely starting with steak. Definitely getting the mac and cheese mixed in. And got to go with mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
Classics, easy.
Gravy, right? Gravy?
100%. Now, we also do have turkey. I'm not, once again, it's not me hating turkey because someone tweeted me, you're a hater of turkey. No, I don't hate turkey. I just think we need to acknowledge that if the Pilgrims could do it over again, they wouldn't have chose turkey. They would have went with steak. Like, I just think turkey is an inferior meat. If we're going to meat rank here, and I'm a meatsman, you're taking steak over turkey every time.
If we're going to meat rank.
Who doesn't love a good meat rank on Thanksgiving, man?
The Power 5 meat rankings, top 5 meat rankings. So the guy hit me with the rib. What kind of steak are we talking? I've never had steak on Thanksgiving. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever indulged in some steak on Thanksgiving. That does sound good, though.
Are we talking ribeye? We talking filet mignon?
I believe it is a ribeye. And I also want to say that we've done the New York strip as well, but I think it's a ribeye. Yeah, we've done both. I'm pretty sure. I just asked my uncle if it's a ribeye this year. I think it is.
Yo, so Jacob, you know what this tells me?
Money.
There's a lot of money in that Asman household.
Man,
I mean, living on Long Island.
It's a reason why Gang Green is his favorite team.
Yeah, that ribeye is ringing off every Thanksgiving. How many people you got pulling up to your uncle's house?
It's actually a small gathering, though, so I think that's why we could do these things. Like, it's just myself, my brother.
What's small?
Under 10 people, I believe.
That's still, I mean, that ribeye for 10 people. Shout out to the Asman.
Okay, it's a skirt steak I just received. I don't know if that changes your opinion at all.
No, that's still, I mean, that's still, you guys are pretty blessed. I will say that.
Look, I'm grateful. And not all of us have it, though. I think it's only typically just myself, my brother, my uncle, maybe my dad, if he's awake. Could be snoring through that one, so who knows? So it's not as many as you would think. But if you're ever going to splurge, you have to do it on Turkey Day. It makes too much sense to do it.
800-919-3776. I see a phone call here that just got me excited. I don't know if you know this about me. I love arguing with people. Let's go to D in Queens. What's up, D? Happy Thanksgiving.
What's going on? You're funny. Let's go at it, because the fact that I heard from Peter and them, and then you brought up positivity. Listen, no one in sports talk should talk about positivity. I'm sorry. Y'all the most negative people on earth.
Before you go off, are we going to get some James Harden reference in here, or can we?
Again, you guys are the most negative people on earth. You're making my case.
Let's just not talk James. I know James is having a phenomenal season for a bad Clippers team, but I don't want to hear about James Harden. Just go. You have.
I didn't bring him up. You did.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You did.
Go ahead.
That's the thing. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's like Peter brought it up. You brought it up, positivity. I'm like, sports talk radio should never talk about positivity. You were literally nitpicking because he didn't exactly quote something that Herm Edwards said like 20 years ago. I'm like, bruh, what are we talking about here? Y'all just look for reasons to be negative on people. And as for Justin Fields, I want him cut. I've been saying this for a month. Work out a deal with him. I think he'll go right now. He'll give up money just to get away from this. Because y'all blame him for everything, and they scored 10 points last week. What's the big difference? Y'all keep making it seem like he's the problem when the team is talent deficient.
He is the problem. He is the problem. He's not the only problem, but he is a problem. He had 500 yards passing through his last 5 games before he was finally benched.
And how many points did they score? Again, they scored 10 points.
Okay, and Brees Hall fumbled at the 5-yard line, and that would have been 7. Like if you watch the games,
he did the same thing. He did the same thing to Justin Fields.
So D,
he dropped the ball at the goal line.
Yes, against Dallas, and that game was 23-3 at halftime. Not even remotely the same situation. So tell me again, objectively here, are you trying to argue that you thought that Tyrod Taylor somehow played worse than what we have seen recently from Justin Fields?
I know the receivers caught the ball in that game.
Right. It's almost like because Tyrod was more accurate with these passes now.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. Wait, D, so I'm just trying to understand your point. Is this a defense of Justin Fields? Like, you think the Jets should run it back with him next year?
I think that you guys always talk about athletes who do better once they leave New York. You're about to see another case of that.
Well, okay, very awesome. I love that point because if not for the fact that we had seen him struggle in Chicago and Pittsburgh, like how is your defense of Justin Fields? The receivers are dropping passes. The team around him is talent deficient. When we've seen him now at multiple stops struggle, and he just got benched.
He got benched when he wasn't supposed to play a game. See, that's another thing. You guys make a false point and keep saying over like it's the truth. He was never supposed to play last year. He was never supposed to play.
So, D, here is the problem with how you're framing the argument. Because you keep saying you guys as if this is some media-driven narrative. You know who agrees with us, by the way? Aaron Glenn, his head coach, who would have benched him earlier in the season if Tyrod wasn't hurt. So stop acting like this is some media narrative. There's a conspiracy. His own head coach benched him. Just like last year, Tomlin, when they were 4-2, benched him right ahead of that Jet game in Week 7. So stop with the you guys stuff. It's so lame, bro.
Hey, cut him then. Cut him. Why is he on the team?
Well, he's got $30 million guaranteed.
And
I'm pretty sure something's going to be worked out, this offseason. I appreciate the call, D, or maybe I don't actually appreciate the call, but I do hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Maybe something will be worked out this offseason. I'm sure he's not going to be back on the Jets, but I cannot believe, Jake, we sit here on November 27th as I am trying to be positive and be in a great mood, with someone calling to defend Justin Fields.
I mean,
live in a world where that exists.
Ty, I used to think the Zach Wilson truthers were the worst. Fields' stands are giving the Wilson truthers a run for their money. I mean, look, is Justin Fields their only problem? Obviously not. But come on, man. He had 4 games this year where he had less than 60 yards passing. He had 23 yards passing at halftime of the New England game. Like, we need to stop. Justin Fields would have been benched against the Bengals if Tyrod was healthy that day, and Fields had a great game, and they won. Then they had the bye week, and then they played the Browns, and they won. It was a short week. Like, this would have happened weeks ago. And, look, I get it. The Jets only scored 10 points. So if you just watch the box score, you're going to say, oh, it didn't work, and people blame Fields. If you are a Jet fan and you're objective and watch that game, the offense was far better, despite only scoring 10, than any recent start we had seen from Justin Fields. And that's not to say Tyrod Taylor's great or he's the answer. He's obviously not. He's a 36-year-old backup at this stage of his career. But, like, it doesn't need to be one or the other. Like, oh, Fields is getting all the blame. No, Fields is part of the Jets' problems. He's not their only problem, but it was still the right move to bench him, and you're trying to, at this point, evaluate your roster and the talent that you do have. And at least with Tyrod for this game this past Sunday, we got a better idea on what John Mechie is, A.D. Mitchell, Mason Taylor. The offense functioned better. That's what the whole point of making that change was. And did they win? Did they score a bunch of points? No, but if you watch the game, the offense was objectively better with Tyrod than it would have been with Fields.
And again, framing this as the media out to get Justin Fields, man, you know how much fun it would have been, excuse me, to have a similar conversation to what they're having in Tampa, or what they had last year in Minnesota with Darnold, Tampa this year, and the last couple of years with Baker, him becoming like this reclamation project that actually turned out to be a really good football player with his athleticism. The guy is super talented. That would have been so much fun to do. So acting like Jet fans, the media, were rooting against Justin Fields when we've been subjected to garbage football for the last 15 years It's just idiocy to me. But we have to be honest about what we're watching. He this year was an abomination. He was one of the worst starting quarterbacks in all of football. Is Tyrod Taylor this massive upgrade? No. But you're right, Jake. The offense did look a lot better last week. They were moving the ball up and down the field.
Which is sad because 200 passing yards by Tyrod felt like 400 compared to watching some of these Justin Fields games. And again, I don't think any Jet fan is saying that Tyrod Taylor's the answer or we now have our guy. But at this stage, you're trying to evaluate the players you have on your team. You can't do that with a quarterback who, to quote the owner of the team, can't complete a pass. Like, let's call it for what it is. And the reason why, D, they don't cut Fields now is because the Jets still have 6 games left, and they need a backup quarterback because right now their number 3 quarterback, we have no idea if he's ready to step on a field and play, and Brady Cook, who was a UDFA out of Missouri this past year. So that's why Fields is still on the team, and they paid him $30 million guaranteed, and they're not just going to cut him now when there's a chance they can maybe trade him and get like a pick swap or something for him in the offseason. You're not just going to get rid of him right now.
You know what, D? I'm not thankful for you. Actually, I'm just kidding. Happy Thanksgiving. We take a break. We come back to your phone calls. 800-919-3776 still ringing and running in the YouTube chat, so chime in over there. Jake Asman, Ty Butler going till 10 o'clock right here on ESPN New York, and, of course, streaming live on YouTube.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Hey, it's Michael K. talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you can trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry, banana to sour apple, packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle. You'll get as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee with 0 sugar and 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Ty Butler, Jake Asman going till 10 o'clock. We're in for the guys, DiPietro and Rothenberg. 800-919-3776. Comments open in the chat, so pull up. We're streaming live on YouTube. All right, Jake. Great slate today. We've got the Packers and the Lions, followed by what might be the highest rated game NFL regular season ever, Cowboys against the Chiefs. Then tonight, the nightcap features Joe Burrow returning for Cincinnati to play a red-hot Baltimore Ravens team. Tomorrow, you've got a pair of 8-3 teams matching up. Defending champion Philadelphia Eagles against the Chicago Bears. So what I want to do between the four of us is play a little survivor pool. Just straight up. Not against the spread. We can do spread picks if we want to, but just for the purposes of this exercise, one team you're picking straight up to win their game in the next 2 days. Vegas thinks we're getting two closely contested matchups to start the slate. Then tonight, they've got Baltimore favored by a touchdown. I just don't know that I feel comfortable with the Ravens getting a spread that high. And then the Eagles, who are also favored by a touchdown, they play teams very close, and they're coming off of a loss. So I think we're going to get 4 great games. Let's start with you, Jake. If you had to take one team to win this week or in the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, who's your pick?
Taking the Eagles at home. Philadelphia, 7-point favorites. They're 8-3. I think the Bears, while their record is obviously awesome, and Ben Johnson should get Coach of the Year consideration for the job he's done, I think this is a different level of competition that the Bears are walking into here. You look at the Bears at 8-3, Ty. You know they still have a negative point differential on the season. They're
Really?
-3 on the year, despite their record being what it is, which kind of speaks to me to their record not being as good as the actual team they are. So I'm basically just confident in Philly, even with some of the drama surrounding them at home, finding a way here to get it done in a primetime spot against a team that might not necessarily, be ready for the primetime stage at this point in the Bears kind of rebuild into potentially being a playoff team this year.
I'm going to take Baltimore. Now, look, they've won 5 straight games, and I don't think they're playing as well as the winning streak would indicate. Defensively, they've been awesome. They're holding opponents to 16 points a game during this stretch. Since Lamar has come back, though, he hasn't looked the same. Lamar's just not running as much as we're, accustomed to seeing him. And every week he just shows up on the injury report with another lower extremity injury. First hurt his hamstring that took him out for, 5 games. Then he had a knee issue, dealing with the toe. So something's not right with him. You're watching a guy who looks hesitant, had a couple of plays last week against the Jets where he could have taken off, one-on-one and just wasn't able to do so. And it's led to him becoming a more pocket passer, which, yes, he can do. But when that's all teams have to worry about, when they take the running game away from him and they can just guard up without him having the threat to, get out of the pocket, that limits him as a quarterback. So I don't feel great about that. Derrick Henry just isn't having a great season. He's dealing with the fumbles early. He's cleaned that up and just, hasn't been able to do much. With that said, though, Joe Burrow, typically when he starts a season or comes back from injury, shows a lot of rust. I don't know how healthy he is. This reeks of desperation. The Bengals defense can't stop a nosebleed. Now, I know they played well against the Patriots, particularly in the red zone last week. But that's a bad defense, a quarterback who probably shouldn't be playing. And then even when he does come back to either start a season or from an injury, show some rust. I like the Ravens as my survivor pick. I think they'll win the game, improve to 7-5, and then end up winning this division.
I think it's a smart one. Plus, the thing with the Ravens and watching Lamar last week, it almost feels like there was a conscious effort, knowing they were playing the Jets and they were essentially a 2-touchdown favorite in the game tie, to go out there and basically tell Lamar, don't use your legs in this one. We're going to preserve you for the bigger game against a division opponent on Turkey Day, and that game matters so much more. We want you to exert all your energy in that game because then you get 10 days to recover and rest up in between games for the next one. So it almost, to me, feels like there was a calculated approach. Hey, we can win the game with our – it is, but it worked. They got the win. The Jets obviously hung around, but they got the win. And now tonight, I think Lamar – we see more of him being aggressive, knowing the importance of the games that they got to win against a division opponent. And Burrow being back, I think that ups the stakes for the Ravens' intensity to not overlook them and get it done. So I do like him as well.
See, I would love to go Eagles because that's a big spot. Coming off of embarrassing loss, Saquon had the fumble. Our guy Xavier Gibson,
yeah,
he had the fumble. So this is like a get right moment, and the Bears just can't beat good teams. But I just don't know if I'm trusting I just don't know in this spot I can trust him. All right, Boombaka, hit us with your survivor pick.
So out of the 4 games available, you guys both took the teams with the biggest spreads, Baltimore and Philly, both -7-point favorites. Give me a dog. Give me the first game on the slate today. I like the Green Bay Packers divisional matchup. Ford Field in Detroit. Straight up. Packers.
Wow.
Get a win.
Go, Pack, go.
Wait, Jordan Love, his play this year doesn't concern you?
It certainly does. Here's my rationale. The Lions are coming off an overtime game against the Giants. It's a short week. The Giants are a bad football team. The Packers are a good football team. The Giants cannot tackle. The Packers' defense is very good. I think the Packers certainly keep this one close, and they get after Goff. And even though Jordan Love has not impressed this season, I think they find a way. Again, divisional matchup, short week. Give me the Packers.
A Packers team that you also saw struggle to beat the Giants. It took some
no Josh Jacobs. There was some injuries, and yet it was a more convincing win than Detroit, honestly.
All right.
The only reason why I feel like Detroit won on Sunday is because Jahmyr Gibbs is incredible, and Jahmyr Gibbs practically single-handedly won the game for them.
All right, Jacob, what do you got?
He's got nothing.
Listen. After producing a 3-hour show, I had to take a little bathroom break, run to the little men's room. So I'm
everything come out okay?
Hopefully.
Okay.
I mean, and then I got distracted by the steak, so we'll see. I'll make a pick right now.
Did you wipe enough times? You always got to do the extra wipe, even though you don't see any brown. Like, just do a couple more wipes just to make sure.
First of all, no wipe was needed. It was just 3 shakes and I'm out. 3 shakes and I'm out.
3
shakes.
3 shakes. Yeah, you got to make sure you got everything.
That comes from elitism. Those are the privileged folks. I guess what they say about brothers is true, right?
I wouldn't know.
What you got?
I mean, just looking at the slate of games, not a ton interesting. I mean, yes, Week 12 was definitely an interesting week, probably the best week we've had all year. But the game I'm looking at, just based on spreads and everything, I think I am going to pick, and this might be a little controversial or just not the popular pick. I might pick Dallas.
Wow.
Dallas against the Chiefs to cover the 3.5. Now, granted, I'm expecting a shootout from both teams, specifically because Dallas can't stop a nosebleed either. I mean, their defense was a little better last week, but it's not the best now. But I sent you guys a stat which I thought was interesting.
What's that?
Thanksgiving games for Dallas, they're 15-1. Honestly, and
15-1 all time. That can't be right.
I want to say their last couple.
That can't be right. 15-1, the Cowboys.
I guess in their last 16.
Well,
no, there's no chance.
Let's see.
way.
Hold on.
There's no chance.
I walk off the show if the Cowboys are 15-1 their last 16 Thanksgiving Day games.
There's no way that that's true.
They have 3 straight Thanksgiving wins. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way. We'd be all over that stat if we knew that they were this dominant on Turkey Day.
Here's what I do love about your pick, Jacob, though. What I love about, I don't love the pick, but if you want to convince me that the Cowboys are going to win this game, the Chiefs are an awful team on the road. Their only road win this year came against
the Giants, right?
The Giants. Mm-hmm. And that was like an ugly game that if Bobby Okereke doesn't allow Patrick Mahomes to take the ball from him, like it can go a different way. So the Chiefs are completely different on the road. But my question is this, because you said it's going to be a shootout. Who do you trust more in a shootout? Dak or Mahomes?
Give me Mahomes.
I trust Mahomes. I definitely do, and I don't want to bet against Mahomes. But something is telling me, just stick with the Cowboys. And some people might be killing me, telling me it's a terrible pick. Other people,
no, it's not a terrible
might
pick
be
at all.
agree with me.
I mean, the point spread is 3.5, so it's like it's going to be a close game. I'd like to see the Cowboys win. I'd like to see the Chiefs miss the playoffs. It's just hard for me. Jake, you said this earlier in the show. Like, it's just hard for me to envision that happening.
It's tough to picture a world where Kansas City doesn't find a way to get in, just based on their pedigree. Even like the way they won this past week. Would it surprise you after they come back down 20-9 in the fourth quarter against the Colts? That's kind of the rallying cry to this late season run they go on. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Oh, and by the way, the stat that I was talking about, nothing to do with the Cowboys, more about Tony Romo. So you can erase that stat. Tony Romo has only lost one November home game, and that was their last Thanksgiving game against the Redskins. So, I mean, do with that what you want. Take it, put it in your pipe and smoke
Tony Romo's calling the game, so if we're trying to find like a way to, I don't know,
to twist it.
Calling the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I you know what? That I feel a whole less confident with that pick now.
It's all good. All right, so I'm rolling with the Ravens. Jake, you have the Eagles. Boombaka's going Packers, and Jacob's going with the Cowboys. So we're all over the map here. I love it.
Well, Survivor rules, you can only pick one team, right? So, I
love it.
No one else could have picked our selection of the Bear.
I guess you can. Because you can pick. You can't double up on a pick. We're just playing this game, just one week.
Your life's on the line. You need to bet on a team that's going to win today or the one game tomorrow. Who are you taking? And there's just no way I believe Jacob Perry would bet his life on Dak Prescott
in a big
Brian
game.
Schottenheimer and the Dallas Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs. I just refuse to believe that to be true.
Well, he did have a lit post game speech. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, Brian!
After he came back to beat the Eagles.
Those are some of
that post game speech.
Those are some of the best post game speeches, man. He's getting everybody fired up. I want to say it was one early in the season where they won on the field goal. I mean, which was similar to their last week, and I want to say it was like 60+ yards, and he's absolutely going nuts, and everybody's just going crazy for the kicker. So, in terms of like locker room feel, it's a good feel, but I would feel even better if they covered that too.
800-919-3776. How about we do this, Jake? We wrap the show next right here on ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month, call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
At the 5-yard line, handoff Brees Hall, finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons, Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5S all-wheel drive for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S0754711, MSRP $31,070, zero security deposit, ends 12/1/25.
ESPN Bet is becoming the score bet this December. The same betting app you love with a new look and promos curated just for you. Existing ESPN Bet customers don't have to change a thing. Your account, wallet, and bets will all remain the same. Plus, kick things off right now by logging in and claiming a 100% profit boost. More action, more rewards, more for you. The score bet coming this December. 21 plus, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Clinton Yates here. The holidays are upon us, and so are the savings at Total Wine and More. Discover thousands of wines, spirits, and beers like my favorite, IPAs, perfect for every celebration and every budget. From bold reds to sparklers, you'll find the perfect wines to raise a glass this season. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine and More. Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. See TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spiked Aid, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
Yo, so this song is very appropriate as we close out the show. Ty Butler, and you know him as the Asman, because Usher's like, yo, don't leave your girl around me, 2-player for real. Would you call yourself a player or not? You don't want to be phrased that way. Is that disparaging?
Yeah, I respect women, Ty. All right.
Well, it's not disrespect. Some guys, I'm going to say that's disrespectful. You into what you into. Some women actually don't mind that.
I'm married to the game. You know what they say.
Yo, by the way, so it's so funny, right? People call me the troll of the station, and little do they know, I just got a text from my man Rick DiPietro, who sends this to me. Michael Irvin 8-0 on Thanksgiving, so give me the Cowboys. Yo, that is a 10 out of 10 text from my man Rick, who obviously does a tremendous job, him and Dave, in this time slot from 6 to 10 a.m. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I love Jacob. I don't know what happened there.
I can tell you what happened. You want me to lift the curtain? I mean, he kind of did. He didn't tell you the full story. He was coming back from the bathroom, panicked. He wasn't sure what specifically was happening. Because while he said he maybe went number 1, we all know that is a man who just saw his life flash before him going number 2 while trying to hustle back to get back in time from the commercial break.
Yeah.
I think he was scatterbrained. He wasn't himself. And if Jacob Perry could do it over, he would take back that pick and never pick the Dallas Cowboys if his life depended on it.
So he might have what they call swamp ass, because he didn't fully wipe him. Like, he heard us over the speakers. He's like, oh, snap, I got to get back. They're going to call on me. It was a scramble drill, and he just didn't have enough time, to get the booty wiped all the way.
The take was ass. I can't speak to whether or not he had swamp ass, though.
I don't know, man.
No swamp ass, but ass pick.
I'm still trying to figure out. So Tony Romo being 15-1 in his last 16 November games, like, how do we then arrive at give me the Cowboys today? That's amazing.
First of all,
because he's on the call, maybe
The Cowboys are going to win now too. Watch.
Maybe.
I can't wait for this. People are going to be tweeting us, be like, Jacob Perry was a prophet.
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy because I'm gonna lift the curtain up even more because I think I was looking up stuff to add to the rundown, like stuff that make the show fun. A little NFL Week 13 stuff to make sense for Thanksgiving. I said, let me look up the most random NFL Thanksgiving stats, and that was probably one of the stats I looked at. Now, I might have looked at it as more of a Cowboy stat than Tony Romo stat, and that's where I obviously got crossed up.
Man, I'm sorry that happened to you.
I am not. If you want to kill me in the YouTube chat, you want to call in and kill me.
They are coming
right now
for you
is
in
the
the
time
chat.
to do it.
They are coming for you, Jacob. Coming for you, my boy. You getting lit up. 800-919-3776. Let's hit a couple of your calls before we get on out of here. Big Cho calling down from North Carolina. He's got some keys to victory for the Jets against the Falcons. Meanwhile, some Jet fans don't want to win this game, but what you got for us, Big Cho?
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, my man.
I appreciate it. Jake, make sure you check your email. I transferred those tickets to you last night.
Did, Big Cho. Let me shout out Big Cho. He's a generous guy. So Big Cho wanted to donate jet tickets for a family that maybe can't normally afford to go to the game. So he sent over 2 awesome tickets, and Big Cho, I will make sure they go to a Jet fan, father-son, or mother-son, mother-daughter combination that could actually use it and maybe watch an entertaining game Sunday, because everyone's dying to go to Jets-Falcons, Ty.
Okay. Thank you very much. Keys to the game, I think defensively we need to shut down Bijan Robinson.
Ooh, that sounds pretty easy.
To make Atlanta a one-dimensional team to where Kirk Cousins has to throw the ball and you can keep him in the pocket because he doesn't like to run. Offensively, we need to spread the ball around, get Mason Taylor involved in the short game, stretch the field with our 2 new receivers, and obviously establish the run with Breece Hall. What do you think about that?
Great stuff, Big Joe. So here's the deal. Typically, and look, I'm not trying to be that guy, but typically when we do the whole keys to the game thing, we want to be less obvious because everyone can figure out, you know what would be great if you shut down Bijan. That would be great. But listen, it's Kirk Cousins when he comes in relief duty of Michael Penix, looked awful, looked a lot better last week. What can you expect of him in this game? None of us know. I think what we see from Tyrod on that offense, if he's able to play the same game that he did last week against a really good Ravens team, I think the Jets will win. Because I know D laughed at, well, you said the offense was better and they only scored 10 points. There was the fumble, and the Ravens' defense has been really good during this win streak. So I think if they play that same game, they beat the Falcons.
I don't disagree with you. I think the Jets are going to win at least 2 more games. This feels like one of the more winnable ones. You get a dome team on the road. You know, the Jets are playing a lot better than they had been. You know, the boost of Tyrod, I think, should probably play itself out more against a team like Atlanta that is not, you know, this great dynamic team. And the Ravens haven't either, to be fair, but it's a different step of competition on the road in Baltimore versus home against a Falcons team that's 4-7. So I agree. I think the Jets can win. Drake London's not expected to play again, which is a big loss. And the Jets' run defense has actually been pretty good the last few weeks. So
absolutely,
if they do contain Bijan Robinson, they'll have a shot. I think the key thing for the Jets, and they haven't done it all year, but if you believe in due, they're overdue. Can they get a couple turnovers, man? I mean, seriously, set the offense up with a short field. Give yourself a couple extra possessions. I mean, that's really the thing. Is that going to happen at any point over these last 6 games here? Because that could actually be the difference in the Jets winning a game or two.
Can I be honest? Maybe this makes me a bad fan, but I'm kind of rooting for them to go the whole season without an interception.
It'd be remarkable.
It's like almost as like disappointing and embarrassing. It's impressive to go an entire season without a pick. I think the fewest amount is what, 6? That might be the fewest amount in the NFL.
I can look it up for you. Yeah,
I think it's 6.
The Jets, let's see. Every other team has forced at least 6. Jets have only forced 1 turnover. By the way, that turnover happened in London, so they have not had a turnover forced on U.S. soil, if you want to break it down that way. And then they're the first team in the NFL since 1933 to force fewer than 5 turnovers in their first 11 games. 2018 49ers, 2024 Raiders each had 5. Neither team forced a turnover in their 12th game. I mean, we are talking about something that is legitimately unprecedented with the lack of turnovers.
Well, here's the good news. The Cowboys have won 15 of their last 16 Thanksgiving Day games, so I think the Jets get a turnover on Sunday. The ESPN New York holiday party is back. Both the Michael Kay Show and Don Hahn and Rothenberg, they're bringing the holiday cheer. You're at, how about this, your mother's house, which growing up would have been like an offensive joke, but that's an actual place in Garden City Park, Long Island. On Friday, December 12th, we're once again collecting unwrapped toy donations this year to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation, all kicking off at 1 p.m. on Friday, December 12th at your mother's house, brought to you by Amazon Pickup, Security Dodge, and Spiked Aid. 800-919-3776. Javier's in Queens. My guy, what's up, Javier?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. Shout out to the animals in the chat. Ty, I feel terrible for you because it's bad enough that you can't make Thanksgiving because of like sickness, but then you add on explaining what your kids have. It reminds me of when Sam Darnold got mono and he was out for all that time. It's like terrible.
Terrible, man. But that was embarrassing. That was him and Bars kissing up on people. This is me getting it from my kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand where you're going.
And I was a little heartbroken when Jake, he didn't know what pernil was. Like, your saving grace is that your man Boombaka came through. He knew how to spell it. Clearly, Boombaka is hanging out in different neighborhoods than Jake in New York.
I'm going to hang out with you, Javier. We'll have a good time, and you can show me the ropes, all right?
Oh, Jake, I got some cousins for you if you're single and you're looking around like that, especially at a
hit
Jet
them
game.
DMs, man.
Yo,
give him some DMs he can slide in. Give him some DMs he can slide in. And because he was sliding in DMs this week with that crypto nonsense. Nobody cares about that. Give him some actual DMs he can pull up on.
Yeah, Jake, a nice Latina at the Jet game with you in case some other woman starts
There we go.
they'll take care of you. You know what I mean? Like they know how to handle themselves.
I think the last place I'd want to be with a woman is a Jet game right now, but I appreciate the gesture, Javier.
So quickly on the Yankees, then I have a little conspiracy theory on Aaron Glenn. The thing with the Yankees right now is I think that they're still functioning as though there's some mystique around them, or like teams come into the Bronx and they're a little shook to play there. The only team that hasn't gotten the memo that it's open season in the Bronx is Minnesota. They're the only team that still bows down to the Yankees. Everybody else is caught up to them. They need to learn how to step back and maybe build up as opposed to continuing to just stay in the playoffs. They're just frustrating in that way. With the Jets, my conspiracy theory on Aaron Glenn's treatment of the media, as I was telling Jacob, is big what if. What if Aaron Glenn is playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers, right? He knows Samini for 30-plus years at this point. What if he is Samini's inside man and he's giving Samini all the inside info, and he's like, "Yo, Rich, here it is. But on media day, I'm gonna kill you, and that's how we're gonna build this team back up." What if Glenn and Samini are in bed together and they're just pulling the wool over our eyes? What do you guys think about that conspiracy theory about Glenn?
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening, Javier. Jake, you disagree?
Yeah, I just think Aaron Glenn, has gone out of his way to be combative because he thinks he's trying to put up this guardrail between him and the media. I just think he's taken it too far. He hasn't won anything yet, so it comes across bad. I think when you have to try and come up with these conspiracy theories, that's kind of when you know that it's too far out there. And he's changed the last couple of weeks, so it almost sounds like someone got to him and said, "Hey, man, this is not we see what you're trying to do, but this is not the approach you should take when you're in the middle of coaching up a 2-9 football team, and you don't need to be adding extra attention on yourself because of how you answered questions about Tyrod Taylor versus Justin Fields in a loss season." Come on.
Oh, man. Can we hear the Aaron Glenn, Herm Edwards thing one more time?
You play the game to win.
Hello? You play to win the game.
That's just very unfortunate. Hate to see it. But it's just like a microcosm of the season. That like I said earlier, that was the end of the first half against Denver. That's what that was.
You think it was that bad?
Well, technically, no, it wasn't that bad because that probably lost him the game, and he just flubbed the quote. But if you're quoting Herm, it's like you want to punctuate it by actually getting the quote correctly. It's going to resonate with you. Jet fans who have kind of hated on you. You're starting to change your tenor, your attitude. Like, all right, you're resonating. But then you flub the quote, and it's like, all right, this is the guy we're going to have drafting our quarterback next year. He can't even get a Herm Edwards quote correctly.
He needed the hello in there. To me, that's the best part about the you play to win the game. Like the hello, like that alone is drop worthy. And then obviously the iconic quote that followed right after. AG needed a hello, and then I think it would have enhanced whatever he was going to say next.
Hello.
Not that hello. Give me the Herm hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
You think they start winning, he's going to go right back to being that combative guy, or is this the new Aaron Glenn?
I think if they start winning next year, which I hope we get a chance to see. I have some reservations there, but I think he'll go back to being maybe not what he was, but it won't be the last time we have an Aaron Glenn versus the media topic we're discussing.
My decision.
Well, this was so much fun, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all of the people out there listening. If we didn't get to your call, I apologize, but Jake's going to be back 6 to 10 tomorrow. I'll be back with Bart from 10 to 1. Shout out to the people in the chat. Boombaka, Jacob, appreciate you guys for joining us today. And I guess it is time for my man Jake Asman to do what Rick DiPietro always does. And it's a lot of pressure. Don't flub the quote. Don't pull an Aaron Glenn. But Rule 76.
No excuses. Play like a champion. This has been DiPietro and Rothenberg.
You won't want to miss this.